5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? This is the Rando Convo podcast. What's good?
What's happening? What's happening?
I didn't even let you know this. I'm actually changing my name of what I'm going to go by for this podcast.
It's already whack.
You see what I deal with? You see what I deal with, America? You see what I deal with, world?
Here we go, Nick. Tell us what new name is.
The producer. Nick the producer, actually.
Nick the producer. It's like a Chance the Rapper type of vibe.
Sure. I mean, because I have like different. I have my rap name. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rap name Thomas. Got my producer name 4K.
Too.
So when I'm on here, I'm Nick the producer because
like Chance the Rapper, but the podcast.
Right. I produce the podcast. I produce the music.
I'm with it. I
produce the music for the podcast.
I'm not gonna call you it, but I'm here for it.
That's cool. But, you know, I'm just gonna be called Nick the producer now.
Just go ahead, throw it in there, Nick the producer. All right.
So I'm Nick the producer, everybody. I'm with my co-host. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
It's your boy. You already know it's Nana out here. I mean, no nickname over here. I guess add me on Snapchat and YKOTT. You already know the flow.
Excellent. How's your week been, bro?
Bro, it's another week, bro. No one died, and close to me
that we know of. Yeah.
That close to me personally. So you feel me? We're in good spirits.
Excellent.
Just another week
for me too. I mean, it's been kind of a slow week, so I thought this week, just to give just a preview of what's going to happen in this next couple hours, we're going to kind of review 2020 so far. It's been a crazy year to say the very least. So I'm gonna just kind of we're gonna go over just the little nuggets of what's going on this year, from the good news to the bad news. But first, we gonna get into our rando thoughts. What's your rando thought this week, bro?
Rando thoughts, man. It really wasn't that deep of a week. Nothing too crazy happened. So my rando thoughts gonna be just enjoy life while you got it in front of you, man. Go do something you wanted to do, you've been feeling to do, you've been curious about. Get out your comfort zone, do something, man. Just enjoy life. That's my rando thought. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. My rando thought is just something we came across today. Like we were just cooling today, like going over our podcast notes, making sure that, we have a good system in place. And while I was looking stuff up, the first thing I see is a location called Batman Turkey. Now, that's not saying like, a Batman version of a turkey. That's not like anything like that. It's literally a location called Batman Turkey. So I did a little deep dive. The place is not named after Batman. There's a river.
I don't know why you thought that.
I mean, it's a fair assumption. Batman's been around since like the 1920s.
All right.
So I'm like, I could believe a place was established and fuck with Batman so much that they were like, yo, like,
let's name our Providence, quote unquote, city.
Wouldn't it be some shit if like they got like a little Batman type nigga? Like,
I'm gonna leave it alone, Nick. You got it. This was your rando thought?
Yeah, that's my rando thought. Like, it's crazy that
shout outs to Batman Turkey if you out here.
Shout out if we have any listeners out in Batman Turkey. Salute. But let's get into it, bro, because it's been a crazy year.
Wait. Shout outs OJ the Juice. Happy birthday, fool. All right.
Happy birthday, whoever you are, bro. Salute.
Right. Go ahead.
All right, but you silly, bro. you like fucked up my train of thought.
Oh, completely. It was so perfect.
You lucky I'm an editor.
You don't got to edit. This is perfect.
Oh, nigga, I am. I'm making myself look great. I'll leave your fuck ups though.
Nick the producer, back at it again.
Nick the producer. Hey, you call me it. Hey. But anyways, let's start
your own tag.
Young, let's start out in January, bro.
Of course. Where are we also going to start? December?
Fuck this nigga. But anyways,
January. What's going on? What happened? January 1st? That's what we starting with?
So just a carryover from last year that extended to January was
True story.
The Hong Kong protests. What are your thoughts on that shit, bro? There's a lot of different things that happen from like the NBA shit, but
for sure,
I'll let you take it away.
I thought the Hong Kong protest was pretty. Of course, now in grand scheme of things, it's probably just another event 2020. But at this time, that was pretty deep, because to be protesting in China in that magnitude, that you haven't seen something like that in a while. So I thought that was a really important thing, especially against the Chinese government, which is
not the American government.
that's a
not
great way
not
to put
the
that.
EU.
Great way to put that. But Yeah, I thought that was a pretty impactful, event, pretty impactful event in, I would say, China's history and maybe modern day history for sure, because they were out there in numbers, man.
I think that, and we discussed this earlier, like, I think that kind of opened the floodgates to, like, mass protesting to this degree.
It's the wave, apparently.
Like that. And look, like, there's been I don't think they've had a lot of success, unfortunately, just because of where they live. But I feel like, just we'll get to our protests and everything.
Say, you gonna put the conspiracy hat. You know why they ain't had a lot of success.
Oh, man. You might as well say it. You might as well say it.
All right. Conspiracy. Oh, let's go. That's tough. All right, conspiracy hat on over here. You feel me? The situation. This is just the speculation. Don't take it too deep. You feel me? I understand the seriousness of coronavirus, but the Chinese government was as messed up as some people speculated to be, as conniving and evil as some people. I'm not referencing that Trump dude, but he be onto some things. You feel me? I'm just gonna put that there. But if China's as crazy as people say it is, would it be wild enough to think that a group of people protesting them could be the target of a new quote unquote, was it bioweapon? Is that how they're labeling weapons like that?
Yeah, like a bioweapon. Yeah.
Would it be too outlandish to say they tried it on their own people?
It's like, I can in some levels see that happening, but on the other wave of it, like,
that's so wild.
That would be some wild shit.
That's some movie shit.
And killing your own citizens, I believe in most situations, is
probably
it's problematic.
I want you to look at this though. Out of all the people who've gotten coronavirus, what's the percentage of people that died?
I think it's like point something. Like,
it's
less than 1%.
I think it's less than 10%. I know that.
I don't even think it's like that. I think it's a lot less than that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we ain't got a calculator in front of us, but we could obviously do numbers. But you do it. You listen to it and Google it. Nonetheless, the goal wasn't to kill a majority of them. In my retrospect, I think the goal was just to get them sick and say, "Oh no, disease! Everyone go inside," and then they were gonna go from there.
Like, if it had not extended out of China, I'd give it more of a
plausible thing. Hey, bro, one of the protesters had a business meeting in Italy, and boom.
I mean, look, it's been a crazy 2020. I can't rule anything out. Like, if that came out as like a news story, and like
speculation happens, it's off.
Yeah, if it's, I'll give you credit, and I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, anything's possible
in a realistic manner. I that's wild. That's really wild.
Like, that would be the story of the year if that happened.
Nigga, that's a scandal of a decade type shit. China started the year by poisoning their people. That would be the story.
And I think that that's just not a good risk for China, like, at all. Like, I think that would not pay off in the end. So we'll see. But I mean, it's crazy how we can have such a crazy conversation and we're talking about January 1st.
That is how we started our year.
So after that, we go to January 2nd.
Hey.
January 2nd, Iranian general Soleimani. I'm not going to try and pronounce his first name.
Hey, man, you tried.
Soleimani. He was killed in a U.S. drone strike conducted, not actual, but like, Donald Trump definitely, signed off on it.
Weird.
I don't know how much Donald Trump was involved in actually planning it. Can't imagine a lot. I'm sure he didn't have like the PlayStation controller, like, controlling the drone and shit. I don't think that happened.
That'd be hilarious. Not gonna cap. Sorry to anyone who's
that would be such an image.
That would be some Call of Duty shit. Like,
he got the PlayStation 5 controller, just like, look at these graphics.
Continue.
But. And I remember when that happened, because everybody was tweeting out World War III. That shit seems like that shit seems like a century ago.
I will say the internet always takes shit and run with it. Right. But apparently he was Iranian, right?
Yeah.
He was beloved by a good amount of people in Iran.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I think on some level he had ties to
he was
certain organizations. Like, I won't say what we're thinking of just because I don't know for sure, and I don't want to put nothing on it.
I don't know about this wee person, but nonetheless, I don't think he was as a polarizing figure enough to start World War III. But he did have enough people for it was.
Well, wars start for little reasons sometimes.
That is true.
So,
I mean,
it's like I can understand why
day and
people
age.
thought that, but it's like
the internet will ruin anything, bro.
I think that coronavirus stopped all those plans.
That noise ended quick.
But that's a spoiler. I'll leave coronavirus.
But that's just because
later.
Black Twitter is hilarious.
Black Twitter is hilarious, and Black Twitter hates Trump for the most part.
Hey, bro, we get canceled. It's gonna be fun to Black Twitter.
So then we go. From the 2nd to the 7th. So 5 days of peace, calm, all
whole
that.
team out January is pretty quiet.
I
mean, life-wise,
I feel like we were kind of ignoring all this type shit. Like it was easy. It was a lot easier to ignore news.
I would say
then.
life's a lot different when you kind of just reading it.
Niggas are going to niggas are working. Niggas are going to parties. Niggas are out and about. Like it's not.
It was cold, whole tea.
It was. There's a lot of things. And my job back then, like I was always working.
Genuinely, life is easier when you're just reading the news on your phone. But let's keep moving.
The 7th, the World Health Organization is notified of the novel coronavirus, then known as 2019 nCoV in China. So that's when the World Health Organization is notified. China had discovered it the year before in December.
Not too far.
So not too far, but
they kept it quiet.
They kept it quiet. They probably they probably thought they can control it.
I'm telling you, bro. It was like, all right, we're just gonna give it a few, and then it was like, oh shit.
It's like when you start like a little fire.
No,
it's like you're in the forest and you like, oh, let me light this leaf on fire.
Hey, bro, this is a shame. This is what we're comparing it to.
That seems like, honestly, I feel like that's a very vivid description.
I already took my speculation hat off. I'll take. Go ahead. We're next topic.
But yeah, just to finish that off, that coronavirus from here causes Go
ahead, you can speak. I believe you.
I don't know if I can.
English.
I don't know if I can. Respiratory disease, and we now call it COVID-19. After that date, that's when we started to call it that.
Word.
So COVID-19 came about.
How do you know I wasn't saying it in January?
We're still in January, nigga. We're still in January. And it is believed that the virus had started in Wuhan,
China,
which is China. If anybody doesn't know. The next day, in unrelated news,
is it really?
Yeah, Prince Henry and Meghan Markle's announces that they are stepping down from their duties as senior royals in Buckingham Palace.
I thought that was dope.
I liked it. I think that it was a very 2020 move.
Oh, for sure. I didn't know you could do it.
Meaning, I don't think anybody did.
I didn't know you could just stop being a royal person.
And so I think that
it's a shame that you can't just become a royal. I mean, she obviously married into it, but you can't just be like, I'm ready to be a royal.
I mean, I feel like it's good that not everybody can just say they're royals. That would kind of suck.
The hierarchy needs to be broken.
Because then if everybody was royals, nobody would be. You ever seen Incredibles?
Yes.
You remember Syndrome? Like he had Mr. Incredible like up here like this.
Okay.
And he was like, my super evil plan is to make everybody super. So that way, when everybody is super,
nobody is.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun. I didn't mind that.
I was like, you know what? That's a pretty solid plan. Because honestly, you know what that would turn the world into? My Hero Academia. No, My Hero Academia.
Well, I feel like there's going to be obviously a certain point where a war breaks out, but we're not going to do any spoilers here.
I feel like that would be an interesting. Like, what if in the past of My Hero there was like
a war before?
Yeah,
probably was.
You know what's the best backstory for like an anime of that nature is like Pokemon, because there had to have been some crazy shit going on. Like there is war. Like, do you remember General Surge General Surge?
He's
like from the first series. He's like the electric nigga. He's a war veteran. Like, was he using Pokemon during the war?
Nah, he had gats.
I'm saying, what's your gat gonna do against a Charizard? You know what I'm saying?
You better pray and spray.
Like, you probably have Pokemon with you. Y'all probably going to the death.
That man.
Imagine the battle. Imagine the battlefields with slain soldiers and Pokemon.
I imagine a lot of people didn't have to die, but
imagine a war with Pokemon. Like, imagine a whole bunch of Pikachu just charging at like a troop.
You asking around, dude. I'd be going crazy. I'd be sitting there front general, bro. I was a hooper.
I mean, I feel like that world had to be wild because it ended up with.
That's the reason why it's a kid show, Nick.
But I'm saying kids are able to just go off on adventures by themselves without their parents. Like, there must be some
at the age of 10.
There must be some wild shit going on in the world if you trust your 10-year-old to walk across the world.
Hey, bro, when he got his Pokemon in it, if he dies, it's on him. He was weak.
Man, you pick that starter Pokemon, and You on your own.
You-
How am I
you-
paying rent? Oh, you just walk around the East Town.
On everything.
You
You make
make-
places to stay there.
You make
not?
friends with all the Nurse
Joys.
Nurse Joys and the
It was
officer and the
Jennies.
Officer Jennies.
Pimps.
I kind of hated that because I'm like,
Because they were related.
but it's like
they were all cousins.
But at this point, we're in like hundreds. They visit hundreds of towns.
And
Like,
there's the one, oh, well, they changed per region, I think.
do they?
Not
That's
Nurse
still-
Joyce. I
that's
think
still a
Officer
lot.
Jenny.
That's
Officer
still a lot,
Jenny
though.
dropped off after.
We're
like,
still
JoJo.
asking a lot though.
Hey, bro, there's some large families out there.
We're asking these large families of 24 plus kids
They were cousins,
to
bro.
man the Pokemon centers and the police officers.
If you had a family business that deep, that it was in every city of every town that fucking mattered.
That sounds like corruption to me.
That sounds like corruption. That's a business, Nick. That's a monopoly.
Back to the point at hand.
Nigga, that's your fault.
Yeah, it is. January 8th, Iran launches ballistic missiles at 2 military bases in Iraq, injuring American soldiers.
So they were not happy.
No, but I remember this in real time happening, and it wasn't like that big of a deal because it just injured American soldiers, and it was like as tepid a response as you possibly could have to what Trump did.
I didn't think we were about to start World War III.
He killed their general. He killed their general, and y'all injured some troops. It's like it's not a what is it? It's not an equivalent response. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. If we're talking,
So it's almost like they're
life
like
for life equivalent.
it's like, all right, we just need to get you back to make us look good type shit. Because if they wanted to get us back and did some wild shit,
I don't think they're getting World War III.
they're getting destroyed. They're getting destroyed.
I think we had the debate back in the day, back January, when people were like, "Could we beat Iran? Well, who's on Iran's side?" And then it was like, "Well, who's on our side?" And it was back and forth. And I didn't think it was worth the headache. I didn't think they were going to start a war. We did something that technically we're not supposed to do, but America's kind of known for doing. So,
Ain't that a bitch? It's like everybody's all cool, but it's like,
hey, bro,
we be out here literally just killing niggas.
big bang, take a little bank.
Unfortunately. Anyways, January 11th, and I didn't know this. This is coming from insider.com.
Word.
China records its first corona death. So the first person that died around a month after
The first case was recorded.
Right. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
So that is,
How do you know it wasn't that same person though?
part of me feels that's like a lie.
Yeah, I don't.
Like part of me feels like China like
I don't
definitely didn't. I feel like that's the first.
I think that was the first person that showed
recorded
up.
death. Like
and
when they
said,
could,
like-
the one they couldn't like sweep up. They're like,
That,
all right, we
that
got
man clearly screamed I had coronavirus before he died. Dang it! I'm sure.
He's like,
multiple people had
reporters,
already
get
died before
this,
then.
get this.
There were, you know what's crazy? There were a lot of whistleblowers from China
I believe it.
between the month of December and January, but they were on Twitter type shit. Like it was no one really. People were grasping it, but I don't think it was as grasped as it should have been long term. If you see the vision.
Anyways, January 16th.
Where that's where we're at.
Yes, the impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump.
Bro, that
begins.
shit was comedy gold.
This shit was bullshit, bro.
Bro, that
like
shit
the
was
whole
hilarious.
time, I thought it was bullshit. Like,
I can understand that.
because look, I have more Democrat friends than Republican friends.
I'm not a big political person.
I'm fairly political because that's my major.
Congrats.
So, and you know, that's just I am interested in it, like in a cynical way. I'm a masochist when it comes to this shit, unfortunately.
Like I said, that shit was comedic gold, bro. That shit did numbers, bro. People were tuning in for it.
so
Was on my job, bro.
It was
Everyone
so
watching it.
stupid though, because really what we're arguing about is technicalities.
That's what it was.
We're arguing about, oh, he's withholding aid for, you know, trying to get information off Ukraine for Joe Biden because he believed that was going to be his potential opponent, which he was correct. It's like, okay, was he supposed to do that? No. Was Bill Clinton supposed to get his dick sucked in the Oval Office?
I would hate to do the
No.
compare and contrast shit.
No, but I'm saying like, I think those things are, and maybe I might be wrong about this,
Go
but
ahead.
those things seem of equal value. Like you did something wrong here, you did something wrong here. Was it something that threatened like our security? Was it something that threatened us in any way? Was it something that really changed our lives? No.
I feel anyone who's willing to
Has any
do something
president
like that
ever
on the job.
Has any
shouldn't have the
president
job.
ever been kicked out of office?
You gotta be a big baller to get your dick sucked at your job and still keep your job, my G.
I'm saying, and I feel like he shouldn't have lost his job over that, and he didn't. You know, like, was it wrong? Yes. Should we point out that it's wrong? Absolutely. Should we be spending all of our political capital trying to get this man out of office because we don't like him? Come on.
Well, I think what Trump did was quote unquote unconstitutional. I think that's what the argument was.
Sure. And I will agree that it's unconstitutional in ways. At the same time, is it worth us spending all this time when we all know he's not going to get kicked out of office?
We all knew, but you didn't enjoy
it's going to, if the corona never happened, like that would be something he would be saying all day long. He'd be like, these motherfuckers tried to get me kicked out of office. Well, they failed. The fake news media.
Did you tune in or not, Nick?
No.
At all?
No, not really. No.
I mean, I was watching this shit and I don't care about politics.
I didn't genuinely like. I would see it when I was because at my job they'd have it on. But
it was everywhere.
I was like, this
was ratings for days.
But I'm like, is that what this is supposed to be, or are y'all supposed to be about justice? No,
it's just a joke, bro.
Some stupid shit. Especially when he literally has a hotel in DC. That's like he still makes money on shit. I'm like,
just a joke, bro.
I'm like, that shit seems more illegal than anything y'all talking about here. Like that shit's awful too.
All right, well.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of congressmen wouldn't want to get them on that because they already have their own little deals that they do. So
this whole is a joke,
but
it's our joke.
In most years, the impeachment of a president would be like
some more serious shit.
But it's like one, that shit was bullshit.
It was a joke,
and
like the rest of it.
Corona showed no. You focus on me.
I don't think it's one of those. It was one of those like, oh shit, it's Corona. We didn't have to like. Ask it.
I think Corona has a mind of its own.
Corona pulled up in the party and you were like, this nigga Corona's here.
I feel like Corona is like somebody's jutsu.
Next topic, Nick.
Corona.
Next topic.
January 20th. The first Corona case in the U.S. is reported in Washington State.
I swear it was here before that.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
I swear it was here.
Now, I think a lot of the reason why it was like in Washington State is because, I feel like from cruise ships and everything.
That was people were stuck at sea for 40 plus days.
The crazy thing was I was on a ship. I was on a cruise on Christmas, like Christmas holiday. I was on a cruise.
Crazy. If you would have been on a bitch any longer, bruv.
Like that seemed like hell because a cruise ship usually is tough. Have you ever been on a cruise?
Nope.
Oh my God. Like cruise ships, stock full of food, stock full of shit to do. Like our cruise kind of sucked too. Like no offense, Mom, but it wasn't that it sucked. It was because we all kind of agreed that because we go on cruise. This is the second time we went on like a family cruise for Christmas. The first time was so cool.
Word.
This time was, it was whatever because they canceled one of our stops.
Okay.
Which sucks because you plan to go to a certain place. And then the other time we stopped for like a couple hours. Then we had to go. And it was like, so we spent most of the time on the cruise ship.
Which is not the plan, huh?
No, because when you're on a cruise ship, you're going out to different destinations and everything. We only had one destination. We only had one place we stopped at, really.
So the bigger point of the cruise is to visit multiple places while also staying on a boat for a certain amount of days?
Yeah, because...
Is it not the boat the biggest thing you should be wanting to go be on?
The boat's a big thing because the boat's comfortable as fuck. But it's like, would I rather be on a cruise or be at a resort? In terms of like just being on a cruise ship? Like if I couldn't get off the cruise ship type shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at a resort.
Yeah,
I know what I'm saying.
I don't.
But cruises are not. It's still a nice time, and it was a really nice cruise. It was just not what we were expecting as a family.
Gotcha.
But besides the point, like
I think we're kind of different people. I think some people would like to be on a boat for a certain amount of days and just be on the boat.
See, I know people who hate boats.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be on a boat for too long.
Yeah, but my point is, they only bring a certain amount of food.
That's truth.
So after that, like. The days when you're like they plan for you to be on there, if you're stuck on there for another 20 plus days.
There were some people stuck on an island.
That's crazy. But it's like if somebody tests positive, it's like a boat is literally the worst place because it's such an enclosed place. A plane's bad too, but a boat is pretty bad. So I feel like that's why like Seattle was the first city in our nation that was super damaged by the virus. We've had so many other states since then.
New York was the real one.
New York was the most affected, but Seattle was the first like big state.
Well, Seattle was all right. I'll give you where it was like.
No, I'm sorry. I meant Washington State. Yeah. Washington State in general. Washington State was the first state that got hammered.
Like, they had
New York was the one that got really hammered after that point.
Okay.
because New York is just a weird ass city because everything's all close together.
I was like, New York was doing from the start the minute it got there.
Yeah, New York did a decent job in handling it since then.
Ooh,
but
it was pretty bad at first. But
oh my god! But still doesn't change the fact that Wuhan was the epicenter of the coronavirus.
What are you, Trump? The Chinese virus.
No, I'm literally just reading it off the article.
Oh.
Not Trump. At least I don't think so. Wouldn't it be? What if I just transformed into that nigga real quick?
Well, I'd leave because you're not my type.
Like, Nana, I can offer you a job in the administration.
I'm good, bro. I'm about to have no job in a couple months.
You can replace Ben Carson.
I'm gonna have
a black
for
a black.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about Ben Carson.
Ben Carson will probably be okay with it. So he'd be like, I don't like this job anyways.
Everyone doesn't like the job when they work for Trump. How many staff members he had to replace? I assume it's a record number.
No, it is. it's kind of crazy, and it's like there's so many characters.
Literally a new nigga every month, bro.
Do you remember Scaramucci?
Not really.
He was just this. He's this typical like how you'd picture like a Italian New Yorker.
Sure.
Like anyone, like a skinny Italian New Yorker. How you picture them? That's who he was. Okay. And he was just. Trump fired him not because he was doing a bad job, but because he was getting more attention than Trump was. It's like the most Trump reason to fire somebody, period. Amen. And his nickname says it all. His name was the Mooch.
He'll do anything for clout.
Anything. I won't call myself the Mooch, that's for sure. Stupid ass name.
Go ahead, Nick, the producer.
Thank you. Anyways, January 26th, and I refuse to make any jokes about this one. January 26th, Kobe and Gia Bryant, along with 7 other passengers, die in a helicopter crash in Calabasas.
RP first and foremost. Real live. You know the pilot tweaked, right?
What do you mean?
He made a bad call. He shouldn't have taken off. And even that, he didn't know where he was.
I thought you meant like he was high or something.
Nah, he tweaked as in like he had done like he had been a pilot for a while.
From a decision making standpoint.
Yeah, on the aviation kind of mindset. He tweaked, bro. He just made poor decision after poor decision. But nonetheless, man.
And in most careers, you're able to make a bad decision and everything can be
not aviation,
okay.
Man.
Not aviation. Nah, unfortunately.
It's a shame, bro, because it's
I remember where I was when I found the news.
Bro, someone told me TMZ broke it. I was like, that's cap, bro. TMZ capping.
Like I used to be, I used to be a manager at a restaurant, right?
Correct.
So we had our brunch. So brunch is always busy. So I'm, full working, like just not even thinking about nothing else. Just like walking, talking to customers, making sure the food's straight. One of my servers, my friend Brandon, shouts out Brandon Lee, employee Brandon, he's like, Nick, Kobe died. I'm like, bro, don't even like wish anything like that. Like, I remember because the last time I remember somebody getting me with that was when somebody told me Martin Lawrence died.
Oh, really?
And that was a thing for like maybe a day where it was like misinformation that Martin Lawrence had died.
I didn't catch on to
so that. Ever since then, I'm like, all right, I need to really see.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? I need to see like the TMZ. TMZ is always the one I look for because TMZ is gonna report it first, and they don't get stuff like that wrong.
Bro, when it was them, I was like, I'm gonna wait for someone else to report.
Nah, TMZ. Just a note, like TMZ, while they are cruddy in terms of like their paparazzi practices, they're not gonna risk their credibility off.
Look, I'll just say I didn't want to believe it, so I just sit there capping. Bro.
Nobody did.
Wow,
I couldn't even believe it, and that really affected my day. I couldn't even.
That shook me up, bro, for like a week.
And you know what's crazy? We'll talk about the Eminem album, but when he said what they talk about Kobe and the skit,
that was real.
I felt that immediately. I was like, real. This nigga reached the pinnacle of success in his field. Like, regardless of where you want to place Kobe on the all-time list, I'd probably be inclined to put him higher than most people. But wherever you put him, you can't argue that he reached the pinnacle of his profession.
Bro, I was so sick.
And then left his profession, retired on his own terms, and then started doing media stuff. Won an Oscar for best animated short film.
I think it was sports something.
But I don't think it was what they don't do. They don't have a sports category. Oh, okay. It was best animated film or something like that. It's like that is so like incredible. Like his career, even though he had retired, seemed like it was even on the upswing in a lot of ways. And so to have him taken from us, that hit. And even with all the bad news that's happened this year, it's been a lot. That to me rings as like the most. That rings as the most impactful in my personal life because he's my favorite athlete ever. Like Tom Brady's my favorite living athlete.
You didn't have to do it like that.
But between Tom Brady and Kobe Bryant, it's like so much gap in between those two. And for him to be gone so early, because you don't really hear about like people that big in sports, at least in our lifetime, like dying like that.
I mean, who you can just look at who was bigger than Kobe. That the majority of the list is still alive.
Right. It's crazy. Like Shaq said it best. Like I literally walk up and talk to Bill Russell. You know, like that is so like. I know Wilt Chamberlain died.
That's true,
but
like, Wilt Chamberlain played in the era before,
and I think he was 62. I think he's like 60 something. So it's like
he played in the era
while he died young-ish, he still lived a full life.
Look, we could do
Kobe still had so much to give us.
Everyone knows how much this hurt. This hurt. My mom could give a rat's ass about basketball.
My mom hated Kobe, and me and my mom was like super sad about it.
This hurt everybody.
And look, Kobe had his controversies when he was alive. We won't speak on them or nothing like that, but it's like he had his controversies. Still, after those controversies, like I couldn't think of a better role model. Like he was what you'd want an athlete to become. And he was taken too early. And it kind of set the tone for how 2020 was going to be, to be honest.
It did.
I know Kobe's looking down on us like, dang, like,
hey, bro, I like to believe
shit really hit the fan after I left. I
like to believe everything happens for a reason, as sad as it may be. And I'm happy Kobe don't got to go through some shit, man.
And the saddest thing was his daughter was there, which
that kills me, man.
That is so heartbreaking.
How old is she, bro?
13.
That's the shit that kills me.
And apparently, according to everybody, she was like a little Kobe.
They called her, what was it, baby mama or some shit like that?
Like their personalities were in link. Like obviously, and I don't have kids or nothing like that, but I'm sure that if I have like multiple kids, there's going to be one that I'm going to be linked with, you know what I'm saying, on the same wavelength. Because kids are different people than their parents. But sometimes you get a kid that's on the same wavelength. Apparently they were on that same wavelength.
That shit's...
And it wasn't anybody's fault per se, you know. You can blame the bad decisions.
People made bad decisions,
but it wasn't like, you know, Michael Jackson's doctor.
What?
You know?
Are you accusing him of murder?
Huh?
Are you accusing him of murder?
No, I'm saying it's not like that. Michael Jackson's doctor? Michael Jackson's doctor was like a glorified drug dealer.
Oh, that's what you're...
Yeah, like he literally was giving Michael Jackson like...
He never got convicted or anything, did he?
Yeah, I believe he's still in jail. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Googleable. Hold on.
Hey, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure
I missed that one. Did not know. He was
a glorified he was a drug dealer that was able to get Michael Jackson the strongest drugs you could possibly imagine.
Hey, bro. He was doing what he was asked to do, technically.
But
he tweaked, maybe.
You can like think about it. You can't just go to any doctor and be like, yo, like let me get some crazy shit. Like a doctor has to prescribe you that. Like if you can't, like you can't just get whatever you want.
Did he or did he not do what he was asked to do?
You are not supposed to be giving somebody morphine in their home.
Or did he not do what he was asked to do? Literally paid to do, probably.
Here's the thing. I'm half right. He went to jail for 4 years.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah, he's out.
Oh, okay. So they did convict him of something.
Yeah, he did. He's just not in jail right now.
What was he convicted of?
Hold up. Let me see. Oh, he was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. So he definitely did what I accused him of doing.
No, yeah. It's technically.
He literally administered the drug that led to his death.
That is true. I didn't know
he was doing that a lot.
Yeah, like I said, he was paid to do what he was doing. It wasn't like
but every doctor is paid to do what they do.
Sure.
Just because you're paid don't mean you should be doing that shit. Like that's...
let me say this. It wasn't like he came over to Michael and was like, give me this amount and I'll do this for you. And Michael was like, here. Mike obviously went and found this guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all right. So
he's definitely been known in the streets.
Mike,
probably.
I fully believe.
I'm sure somebody hinted Mike like, "Yo, this nigga can hook you up."
I fully believe Mike knew,
which resulted in
there. I guess that's how you feel about the situation.
It's awful. We lost the king of pop.
Nah, just the dramatic timing was a little off, but nonetheless,
I feel like the comedic timing was good. The dramatic timing was bad.
Air above. I think the situation is Mike. If he didn't know, he should have known the risk he was getting into when he found that doctor and got him to do what he was asking him to do.
I feel like if it wasn't that doctor, it'd be another doctor.
Kobe paid this dude to get him from point A to point B.
And he had done so on every occasion safely before that.
He tweaked, bro. On everything I
Oh,
love, he tweaked.
And look, I would trust your knowledge over that field over mine any day. So I'm not tweaked. I'm not debating that. I just feel like this was more unavoidable than a nigga literally administering a drug that could kill somebody on overdose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a different level of weight to it. Like, if that dude lived, for example, like, if the pilot lived but everybody else died, would you try to convict the pilot?
Damn, that's some tough stuff. Yes.
Really? Okay.
That's how the NTSB would work.
Okay. I'm very interested.
Why did we crash?
Look, I'm very interested to really look that up because I'm asking from a place of I really don't know.
All right. You're going to have to explain why we crashed.
What do you mean? Like, I don't know
you
how.
You said repeat the scenario.
Would you, if he lived.
If the pilot had lived in the Kobe situation? Lived in for sure. Oh, for sure. Because he made multiple bad decisions. Especially if he was the only survivor, they would have someone to actually punish now.
Really?
Okay. Yes. Oh, he's going to jail for murder, bro.
Really?
Because you as a pilot have certain responsibilities.
Me even as a Kobe fan, look at it as like I would need to see more information.
No,
I trust your word for it. I never heard that perspective.
I suggest everyone who doesn't, have the certain details of what really went down or yada yada. Fog out in the morning. He made a bunch of bad calls. ATC tried to instruct him. He genuinely did not do what he's supposed to do as a pilot with going in the safe situation, and his equipment was fucking up. It was all bad vibe, right? He made so many bad cuts. So if that plane crashed and he survived, they're probably gonna send him to jail.
Damn, it would be like that movie, Flight. You ever see that?
Yes, I actually love that movie.
See, I like the first 20 minutes of that movie.
Why? Because it's not a positive for him afterwards.
It's just it's like literally two separate movies. Like
it saves everyone. Spoiler alert, by the way. Saves everyone.
I mean, I feel like most people know the fact that I feel like most people know he saves everybody. But
if you haven't seen the movie,
but most people seen like if you see the movie, if you see like a trailer for the movie, you understand he saves everybody.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, he saves everyone by landing the plane wild as fuck, even though it was low-key his fault because he was literally turned out of his mind.
I mean, was that the reason why it happened the way it was?
No, but you can't be turned out of your mind to be a pilot, Nick.
I mean, you shouldn't be turning your mind.
Illegal.
You shouldn't be turning your mind doing anything.
Yeah, depends.
But there's still other mitigating factors.
There were,
but
and he saved them.
Like blame. You know what I'm saying? Blaming him. We're talking about a hypothetical fake story.
This is
true. But like we're saying that he like something was wrong with the plane or something like that. It's like that was the fact that he's turned doesn't change that fact.
He did a service by saving lives. He violated the rules. Look, if we
absolutely you violate a rule, but I think we can't be lazy in our thinking, and they shouldn't be lazy in their thinking. Obviously, it's a fake scenario, but you shouldn't be lazy in your thinking and blaming. There should be. I'm saying you shouldn't just say, "Oh, he was drunk or he was high." That's the reason why the plane crashed. Like
that wasn't so purpose.
No, because if you do that, then you're excluding all the other reasons. So you should probably put some percentages on what affected this. Like maybe there was like maybe 10 or 15% of that. Him being drunk or high resulted in that, but maybe there's faulty engines another reason.
If they were to die because of that crash, again, hypothetical, him being fucked up would definitely be a big factor for sure.
Got you. Okay. Fair enough.
Like I said, he saved everyone, they live, and now they're trying to figure out how do we blame a guy who's a hero.
I don't disagree with you, Nana, but I definitely don't agree with you.
Fuck off. Next topic.
So we're ending January with Woo! The UK withdraws from the European Union, also known as Brexit.
Oh, yeah, I got to drop it. Hold on. Drop it again?
No, drop a bomb. Drop a bomb.
Which one is that?
That's this one. Drop a bomb.
No, I got to say Brexit. You drop it.
Go ahead and say it.
Brexit. I like this one. You got it, though.
You're using that one way too much. You're using it way too much.
When someone else complains that isn't Nick, I'll stop.
Wait. I need somebody to comment he's using that button too much. Somebody out there.
Bro, I use that bitch right now. Get poppin'.
Yo, somebody be the hero we need, not the one we deserve. God damn it.
What kind of Spider-Man ass trailer?
Brexit, motherfucker.
All right, Brexit. It happened. It took long enough. It really did take a long time.
I think the concept is kind of stupid in general. But
look, you can go down to the root of why some people thought Brexit happened. Most people will say it's to protect England's economic opportunities. Some say it's just pure racism at its finest.
I think it probably is a mix of both. That's what reality usually is. And I think I think it's a mirror to what's going on in the U.S.
Oh, for sure. It's most definitely
because Trump is our version of Brexit.
I could see that.
So I think that and I'm not as knowledgeable about European politics as I am about U.S. politics. Like, I'm very knowledgeable about U.S. politics.
Suck at politics overall.
Oh.
I mean,
but Brexit, and they also have, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Bro,
he's kind of their version of Trump.
You got to go back to Theresa May, bro. When you talking about Brexit,
I heard too. I mean, she's not doing so. She hasn't been doing so high.
She literally quit in the middle of it. Oh, toward the end, Boris got them over the finish line. But
I don't fuck with either.
Yeah, Boris is apparently like UK's Trump or England's Trump, whatever.
Yeah, and that's why people are all like, making fun of him when he got corona, which I don't support. I don't think you should make fun of anybody for getting corona.
Bro, life is such a fickle thing.
The one that tricked me into, because I really was making fun of like Herman Cain, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, this dumb nigga. Like,
then he died.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want that. Like, at most, I'd want somebody to
That's what you get for making fun of someone for getting the fucking sickness.
I'm not making fun of him for getting the sickness. I'm making fun of him for going to a rally promoting people not to wear masks and then getting it. Disease. I feel like that is, no matter if he died or lived, that's karma. That's karma. Like, that is literally karma.
I fully believe that everyone gets what they deserve and everything happens for a reason.
I don't believe that.
All right, look, he did something which people were telling him not to do, and it cost him his life. So repercussions, actions.
Allegedly, because we don't know where he got it from. He could have got it from the KFC he went to. You know,
that's tough.
That would suck.
I promise he wasn't wearing a mask there.
Probably not. February 5th, or in February.
Woo! Nope, don't do it.
February, motherfucker.
All right. Go ahead.
February, Trump is acquitted by the Senate on both articles of impeachment. Stupid ass shit. Stupid. Like, we shouldn't have even had to go this far. We all knew the Senate is controlled by the Republicans.
Good ratings, yes or no?
I don't care.
What, you're not gonna answer me?
Is that what the news is for?
So you're not gonna answer my question?
Does the news supposed to go by ratings?
So
supposed to.
My question?
Yes, it was good ratings.
All right, cool. Make sure.
Stupid.
That you did numbers.
Just stupid. And it's like CNN made it, like, literally I remember the little thing on the bottom of the screen, the impeachment of Donald Trump. And it was like a little countdown and shit. I'm like, this is some
every day.
Like, what is
the
this
trial?
Is this WrestleMania? Like, what the fuck?
It was like that though. WrestleMania. I wish they could have put those numbers.
You got Sweet Chin Music in the face by the fucking Senate.
Hey, bro.
CNN was devastated, even though everybody already knew that he was going to get
Anyone surprised was tweaking, bro. You've obviously not been paying attention.
I knew some people that were surprised.
Really? They were not paying attention, bro. Yeah. Wrong party.
That's unfortunate, but crazy thing is,
reality.
Trump thought he was out of the water, but Corona comes on. I'm pressing two buttons and shit.
Hey, bro, it snuck in there. I had to let you know.
But the WHO on February 11th names the coronavirus disease COVID-19. COVID-19. Anyways. So it originally was called 2019 NCOV, but that bitch is too long. So they named it COVID-19 because that sounds better off the tongue.
I've heard it said so many different ways. People start calling it C19 now.
Well, coronavirus isn't the actual name because there's like the common cold's a coronavirus. Like, so that you can't really call it coronavirus.
Isn't it like a different strain?
Yeah. And the strain itself is called 2019 NCOV. That's the strain. But you name it COVID-19 because you don't want to say all that shit. So I fuck with it. Quote unquote, we had to find a name that did not refer to the geographical location, an animal, an individual, or group of people. That was important too, because they didn't want
to offend anyone.
And Trump clearly did not get that hint at all.
If he did he care?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he knows where this started.
The crazy thing is, like, he don't even call it that. He called it the Wuhan virus. It's like, damn, nigga.
Literally involved
it's like you really trying to prove a point here, huh?
Hey, man, we know who he is. You're not hiding it.
You unfortunately know who this thing is. On the 24th of February, February's going kind of slow. We're getting through February a little quick. Harvey Weinstein is convicted of rape and sent to jail.
True story. Before Nick had to pull up things, I really didn't know who this guy was. I just knew he went to jail.
This man was powerful. This man was a rapist.
He had money, apparently.
This man was, just awful human being in general. And made a lot of money for a lot of people. So he was able to do what he was able to do for years. So
it's a cool world.
Resounding hashtag fuck Harvey Weinstein. No, I'm a little late to the party.
A little. I guess you're not later than me.
Hey, it ain't the worst thing in the world. Anyways, Italy in March 10th. March 10th,
This
Italy.
was devastating because this is around the same time soccer gets put on hold.
Yeah, Italy becomes the first country to implement a nationwide lockdown. This was the one where when I got that news alert from CNN, like, you know, and sometimes you get a news alert from CNN, it's like, oh shit, that's some real shit.
If only I got news alerts from CNN.
Because a lot of times it'd be some bullshit, but every now and then it's some wild shit. And that was one where I was like, an entire country just went on a lockdown. Okay. I was like, okay, that's some real shit. Cool, whatever.
I heard that. I immediately said that's gonna happen to us.
Yeah, I thought that too, but I did not understand the ramifications of what that would mean.
Oh no, they weren't allowed to do the.
No, I'm saying of how bad the virus would get.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think anybody could have predicted that, but
I thought because China was going full lockdown, because China was having a record number of deaths at the time. People were dying left, right in China. I think China's got some underlying issues they need to highlight on their own part. But
right,
China had their elderly dying left and right.
Well, Italy was bad in terms of the elderly.
China, sorry, Italy.
Yeah. Okay.
Elderly die left and right.
Well, that's because I think they had the greatest population of older people, and then a lot of people live with each other more so than in other countries. Yeah. So it was a lot of other contributing factors, and we're fat. So
sure.
I'm not saying those are all reasons. It's just factors.
I just knew if China was in, I said China again. If Italy was in a bad enough situation where they had to really lock down for real, like couldn't let people out after 8, like not everyone can go to work no more type shit. I was like, yo, we are in for a show. Because one, good luck trying to get this country to lock down.
Nigga, not a good show.
And 2, hey man, entertainment's entertainment.
Oh my god.
Some shows are so bad they're good.
A day later, the WHO officially declares the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic, which means that it's spread to more than 100 countries around the world.
That was numbers.
Oh my God. At that point, it had infected 121,000 people and killed over 4,000 people, which, crazy enough, that number is smaller than the number of people who have had it in America. Like, it's
currently for sure.
Right. Like, America is just completely overtaking these numbers that were across the world at the time.
America is about to be 1/4 of all coronavirus cases.
I think it's already 1/3.
That's it.
I think it's already 1/3. Yeah.
Nah, 1/4. I think we're about to have 5 million. The world's gonna have 20 million confirmed cases.
I saw 1/3, but we could both be wrong.
1/4. Fact check us, people.
I'll fact check him in a second. After that, we have on March 13th, 2 days later, Trump declared a national emergency amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Now, was
what day?
The 13th, so 2 days later after it was considered a pandemic.
I swear that was a Friday.
That week was long as fuck. I remember that week.
Because that was the day everyone started busting the supermarkets to get their toilet paper.
And I remember that was the last time I was in like a huge crowd because I went to the Amish market that day. I love the Amish market. I remember being there and I'm like, yo, everybody could have this shit. I was not fucking with like being in there. I didn't have a panic attack, but I was just like, this is some real shit. And we're having and like this was before the press conference. So and then he gets on the press conference, and I won't lie to you, that's the first time where like I was like, he looks a little presidential, like a little.
He was looking a little cute in his suit.
A teensy bit presidential. Like,
hey, yo, stop.
It was downhill from there.
Yeah, so I'm about to say stop hyping this man. My man literally got up there and dropped
it's like,
all the balls.
I wish he had not done that because it would have set my expectations low. But I was like, damn, okay. Like maybe he will buckle up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's your own fault for giving this man any expectations.
Yeah. Nah, I have none. There's absolutely none for him now.
I keep forgetting we have a sound for this. Oh, that's
Why are you crying?
using my little sound joint against me.
I mean, if that's how you see it.
Oh, that's definitely.
What are you researching the coronavirus cases?
Mm-hmm.
How much does you have? I have a phone. I don't know. I'm letting you do this.
Yeah, you do it, nigga. This was you. You were one called challenge on the play.
You're not. wrong, but you're still a bum. So
I'd rather be a right bum
than a wrong one.
wrong bum.
All right, U.S. 4,994K. Globally, 19 mil.
It's either cases or deaths. They're 1/3.
Cases. Oh, deaths is not 1/3 at all. It's 162K deaths, 723 globally. So that's like
Okay.
not 1/3.
What's the cases?
Cases is technically 1/5, 1/4.
1/4.
Yeah, because it mean 490 mils rounded up, 5 mil, 19 mil.
Really?
Nani?
We're 1/4, Nick. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Of the world's coronavirus cases,
Gotcha.
confirmed at least.
Gotcha.
And this is wait. About to source it.
We got our sources, y'all.
John Hopkins CSSE.
You better join some Laura Ingram. You ain't know
Damn. Sign me. All right. No, it lingers a little
It does. All right, March 16th.
Ooh, we're in March already.
Yeah, man.
It's the third month.
We're already in March. All this is in March. All the stuff I just named was in March.
Continue.
March 16th, the Dow plunges 2,997 points.
Sorry for all my
That wasn't a good
stock people.
Are you really gonna say that you don't abuse that one?
Are we gonna say it's not a good one to abuse?
I mean, it's fine.
It works for everything, Nick.
It's fine.
Literally, no situation doesn't work. Go ahead, say something.
Don't work now.
Go ahead, say something. Come on.
You shouldn't press that button. It didn't work. It didn't work at all.
All right, we'll let the viewers determine that.
Oh my god. U.S. stocks, they took a major plunge on March 16th. The biggest drop since 1987.
That fit.
That did. Man, I invest in stocks on a small scale. This didn't affect me too much.
No,
And honestly, I've always been under the belief that the stock market isn't a good reflection of our economy. Because when the Federal Reserve can just pump money into the stock market, it's kind of like just artificial. It's like, this just makes money for all the rich people, and the poor people just don't benefit.
Give him a stat, Nick. Give him a stat.
What's that?
I don't know. I was hoping you had a good stat about stock English. A good stat about stock markets.
No, not that.
Not about rich people.
Not a statistician. That you say it?
Whack. Continue.
I mean, I'm not.
Sorry for claiming me.
Also, the 2020 Olympics were canceled.
Postponed
in Tokyo. Are we really gonna have this argument?
No, we don't. We can skip it. It's too much.
So, according to Nana, the 2020 Olympics will take place in 2021. In which case, if they are not called the 2021 Olympics, I will lose my shit.
Hey, yo, I want to have a reaction video of when they announce the Olympics and Nick loses his shit.
You know what the first thing I'm gonna say is?
Nani?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't like the sounds, let us know. We won't change it, but I just want to know.
I mean, honestly, like, I'm open to any like sounds type shit. Like
all criticism as well.
Yeah, like if you don't like a sound, like, let us know. April 2nd, global coronavirus cases surpass 1 million.
Good God, this has been the coronavirus talk show.
I mean, shit, we had to have a coronavirus episode.
That is this. Go ahead. 1 mil. That was a big milestone, huh? We didn't think it'd get that far.
I mean, I always had an assumption that like it was gonna get bad. Like once
it hit Italy,
once I saw that everywhere was kind of shutting down, I'm like, you're not gonna shut down places.
Once it got to Italy, I was like, it's gonna get to India, and if it gets to India, we're chopped. I knew it was gonna get to us.
Well, India is one of the countries that's handling it worse than we are.
Look, man, they got a lot of fucking people. It's gonna be difficult no matter how they tried it.
That's the excuse we use. It's like, our population is so dense and everything. It's like, we're doing horrible at the coronavirus. So I get to say, like, all these excuses fall on deaf ears. We're doing horrible. We're doing horrible with the virus.
You're not wrong. I told.
This is the second saddest news for me under Kobe. This next one.
That's
Senator Bernie Sanders drops out of the 2020 race, making former Vice President Joe Biden.
Funny enough, I voted for Bernie.
Me too. Oh, I wanted to, but Maryland's elections were so late that it didn't matter by the time I got to vote.
Oh, it didn't work out.
And I guess we can kind of have a mini discussion on Joe Biden. How all that shook down.
You just want to talk about Joe Biden?
I want to talk about how that whole race shook down. Did you hear how what happened to cause him to drop out?
Not the heart attack?
No, he was winning before that. He was winning after he had the heart attack.
Okay.
So basically, there were around 6 candidates still running. The ones who going into Super Tuesday, which is the most important day.
Was Warren still running?
Yes, Warren was running. Mayor Pete was on there. Klobuchar was there. I believe Andrew Yang was still there.
Andrew Yang.
Tulsi was there, and Joe Biden was there.
All right.
So you had 6 people. Now, 3 of those people are very close in terms of their
chance.
No, demographics.
Oh.
The same people, a Elizabeth Warren and Andrew Yang supporter, once those 2 drop out, would go to Bernie. Those people would most likely go to Bernie because while they don't agree the exact same thing, they're similar enough that it's you go for the next best thing you can.
Okay.
Mayor Pete, Klobuchar were that for Joe Biden.
Okay.
So basically on the Sunday before Super Tuesday, this is reported. It's not in terms of it's not verified 100%, but it just makes the most perfect sense of what happened.
Okay.
Obama apparently had called all the candidates and was
word.
Yeah.
Just everyone group call. FaceTime.
And basically convinced them that Joe Biden was the only option against Donald Trump.
Word.
And so
Obama made a super call.
Which, I can see
game.
Obama do it. He has that power.
He ended the whole game just like that.
And he made Mayor Pete drop out and he made Klobuchar drop out. And for some reason, Elizabeth Warren, even though she had no viable path to winning the nomination, stayed in. This is a triple whammy just a triple whammy just loss for Bernie Sanders. Because you have the person who's taking away votes, which is Tulsi and what's her name? Elizabeth Warren, still in the race.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are going to take and siphon votes from Biden drop out the race.
Sure.
So it literally just made it so Bernie Sanders is going to lose.
Didn't even know who those other people were.
When in 2016, it's been proven that he was dicked over by Hillary Clinton in the campaign through emails. That he was dicked over by them, CNN, all them. Bernie Sanders is their greatest threat in their opinion.
Word.
I believe they would rather have Donald Trump in office than Bernie Sanders. Because at the very least, if Donald Trump's in office... I don't know
who you were saying is they.
The Democratic establishment.
Really? Oh, I mean, they
because
picked them over once.
And here's the difference. When Donald Trump's in office, they still all have jobs.
Ooh.
When Bernie Sanders is in office, he replaces all the motherfuckers. Because he knows they're all...
He's out with the shit.
He knows they're all super partisan. He knows they're all just... They all just do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Completely socialist.
Not gonna democratic socialist.
Sure.
He's not full socialist.
He's gonna set the world on fire.
Apparently, if you watch Fox News, what you think. But this was super sad to me because now it put Bernie Sanders in such a difficult position.
Who was gonna win?
Because now you're forcing Bernie Sanders to he has to either kiss the ring or ensure that Donald Trump becomes president. That is such an ass position.
It's a double-edged sword, if you ask me.
It is because because Joe Biden's not going to pass any of the stuff that Bernie Sanders wants. In terms of Medicare for all, in terms of free college, in terms of free weed, all that. He's not doing any of that.
Word.
And if Bernie Sanders said, you know what? Fuck you. Everybody who supports me, don't vote for this motherfucker.
It'd be a dick move.
It would be, but what would happen?
I think Biden would definitely lose some votes.
He would lose the election. And
you think that bad?
Oh yeah, Bernie Sanders was leading in the polls before that moment. Bernie Sanders was leading in the polls.
Bernie tells you don't for Biden, do you vote?
I vote for Biden.
You still do it?
Yeah, I still vote for Biden.
I hope common sense prevails.
I was under the mindset of not voting at all until Donald Trump did this shit on in the park in Lafayette Park.
I hope you are listening and planning on voting.
Yes, everybody vote because Donald Trump is an existential threat to our nation's future.
What's next?
Especially after that Lafayette Park shit. But overall, I just wanted that was like Kobe. That shit hurt because having Bernie Sanders just get, Karate Kid swept in the last leg of the most important day in primaries, and now we have gaff machine Joe Biden, was so just disheartening. Joe Biden can't even say a sentence.
That's a little cap.
A little. The fact that you say a little is so sad.
Like
it shouldn't be. It should be all cap, but it's not.
It's a little cap.
It's not. Did you hear what he just said?
It's a little cap, bro.
Did you hear what he just said?
All right, repeat it.
He was like, because somebody asked him, because Trump's been bragging that he took.
Has he even been talking recently?
He had an interview.
Oh, good for
They
him.
bring him out of the shadows every couple. They take.
Why you make it sound like they got him out the closet, brushed the dust off?
Did you see?
Shook it up a little, put him on camera.
Did you see the latest Star Wars?
Nope.
Oh my god, it's like Palpatine's in it, and he's like hooked up to all these.
Damn,
machines.
they got him back.
Yeah,
I feel like you just spoiled something.
To me, that's Joe Biden. Like he's just hooked up to all these machines.
Really spoil some shit.
Hey, that's the first fucking scene.
Damn, that go crazy.
Yeah, but Joe Biden, they hook him up to some machines, turn them on.
I've seen the spoilers. Nonetheless,
but basically, he was on the Good Morning America, and he always seems to make these mistakes when he's like talking to a black person, because he made the mistake of Charlemagne.
I don't know. I knew what he was trying to say.
I knew what he was trying to say, but it's like, don't say it. But don't say it. Don't say that.
Why the fuck did you say it like that?
But basically, like the person asked him, like, do you plan on taking a test like Trump? He's like, no, man. Why would I take it? Which I'm cool with you getting defensive, because that's like, why would I need to take a stupid test? He's like, that's like me asking you to do a cocaine test before you come. It's like, nigga, calm down. Like,
hey, bro, he passionate.
Like, calm down. Like, do I think you need to take the test? No. Do I think it's unreasonable to ask you to take the test? Not really, because you make gaffes all the time. You lose your train of thought all the time.
That's your opinion on it, man.
No, it's not the opinion. Look up videos.
He doesn't feel that way about himself, obviously.
You don't have to. I'm sure a lot of senile people don't feel like they're going senile. I'm sure that's very common, actually. I'm sure that's actually very common.
I feel like it's okay to be offended by them, bro. I don't like when people ask me if I'm stupid either.
As somebody who had a grandfather who started becoming senile, and he had dementia, so it's a little different.
Where
seeing that and then looking at Joe Biden, I'm like, it's too similar, and it's different than Trump. Because I think Trump's just crazy. Trump's just insane.
It's okay,
but I don't see Trump like. I don't see him as a senile old man. I see him as just crazy and just an existential threat.
It's hilarious.
I see Joe Biden. I see Joe Biden as he'll be president for 2 years, then he'll be forced to sit, and then whoever his vice president's going to be is going to be president.
It's hilarious.
But I know what I'm voting for. I know that I'm voting for that.
You think Trump being crazy is more plausible than him staying 4 years than Biden just being senile?
I don't really see a difference between Trump in 2016 and Trump in 2020. I see a very visible difference between Biden when he was in office and Biden now. I see a very visible difference. He's a completely different like talker. He talks way slower.
People get old, bro. It's happening.
Yeah, that's true. But I hate the fact that all of our choices, even Bernie, are these 70-plus-year-old men.
What do you?
We need some young people.
You want Kanye?
Oh my. I need young people that make sense.
Go ahead, next topic.
And are not suffering from bipolar disease.
Hey bro, what you mean? Some people with bipolar still got that together.
I don't need look, I support bipolar people, whatever they want to do, except government elected officials. Just being saying. You can't be making decisions and you having a bad day like that. I'm sorry.
I don't think your disability should limit you, bro.
You're disqualified. Be a CEO or something. I'm fine with that. Be a CEO of some company.
If you want.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. There are other companies.
There's
only one U.S. government.
Don't let your disorder stop you from anything.
On April 9th, the state of New York alone has the highest number of coronavirus cases than any other country in the world. I didn't know that at that point in time. I didn't know it was the most out of any.
New York was fucked.
Any country.
But no, I mean, because this is before India really gets hit.
Yeah, that's true. I think that they would have less than China, though. Like the whole, you know what? I do think they had less than China, but the reported numbers from China.
China wasn't gonna let you know that.
Yeah, China was capping.
China was not gonna let you know that, bro.
Like the C in China stands for capping. That's all I'm saying.
Hello, capping.
Not a little capping, nigga. We talk. I think it's very plausible. That's the one thing Trump does say that I'm like, I agree with you completely. I think they are capping. Like that is the one thing where I'm like, he's saying it. I believe he does have some more information on that, and it just makes the most sense.
Hey, shout out to anyone who's listening to this and doesn't actually know what capping means. I'm confused as fuck right now.
You need to know what capping means. Go into Urban Dictionary. It's that simple. It's
people don't.
It's 2020.
Some people really don't actually know what Urban Dictionary is.
Urban Dictionary. If you are if you are what would you call it?
I don't know, nigga.
If you are unilliterate in terms of slang, UrbanDictionary.com is your home. Just type it in.
White people everywhere, like, finally, please.
Andrew Cuomo says, quote unquote, 9/11 was supposed to be the darkest day in New York for a generation. And then in many ways, we lose so many more New Yorkers to a silent killer. That's a quote. That sucks. Like, that is, it's like when you look at it, it's like a lot of people died from 9/11.
A lot of people finna die.
Not anywhere near as many as died from coronavirus, even in New York. Like, that's super sad.
It's a different type of killer, bro.
I'm saying. Unfortunately, the article that I was just reading ends there, but that ain't it for the year.
What are we, March though?
But
April?
We're in April. So I mean, just from then, like even if the year just ended there, that'd be an awful year.
It would have been real quiet.
Man, like
real like
that's almost enough to fill an entire year. And we're not even done with the year now. And we
2015.
Oh my God, man. It's like, so after that, we can just kind of go, we don't have to go into like a news story per se, but like after that, then we start getting the lockdown protests.
Oh, yes.
I thought a lot of people forgot about these. Now,
Michigan was a big deal. Once they said start wearing masks.
It started when Trump tweeted like, liberate Michigan, liberate, I think it was Wisconsin. Like he tweeted that shit and then his cronies went out and were in full force.
And straps.
Now, just for me,
military weaponry.
I believe in protesting. I believe in your right to protest. I also believe that there are smart ways to do certain things. And and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but I believe when there's a pandemic going on, we need to think common sense wise as opposed to, because while like, we'll get to the George Floyd shit. While those protests have a good cause and are, I like the idea of them. I hate the fact that it took place during the coronavirus because people were literally just going off about all the right-wing people going to protest the lockdown shit. And truth be told, there are a lot of stupid ones, especially when I saw like posters where people are like, free haircuts. They were trying to get haircuts. I'm like, you're protesting, you can't get a haircut right now? Like that's what you're worried about right now? But then when some real shit happens, which we can get to now, when the George Floyd situation happens, like, it's like, it sucks that I feel this way, but I feel like we shouldn't be protesting right now. I felt that at the time.
Personally, the protest couldn't have reached the extent in which it did if it wasn't for the time that we're in.
Absolutely.
With the millions of people unemployed, with the amount of people actually just sitting in their houses not doing anything.
Absolutely. But when I'm looking at CNN and stuff, I'm just feeling so just like, cause like the previous month, they were going after all the people who were on the lockdown, doing the lockdown protests. So it's like, all right, so it's awful when they do it, but when people who are protesting for police justice do it, it's okay. Look, it's like in my world, they either both are okay because they're both literally the same action, or neither of them are okay. And in my book, neither of them are okay. In terms of like, we're trying to get the virus under control. And now look, I don't think there's been any proof that the virus spread during the protests.
It probably did.
It probably did. And my thing is, we didn't know that.
I think we did.
No. Not when they were doing it. Like when the protests were going on, nobody knew for sure, like, because we all knew that outside it has a less chance of spreading than inside.
Sure.
So it's like, realistically, if everybody has a mask on, for the most part, a lot of people have masks on, and we're outside for the most part, the chances of it spreading are minimum as opposed to
people aren't supposed to be in groups.
No, of course, and that's my thing. And that's my whole thing. I'm like, we shouldn't be in groups in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should probably not have this shit. I get the thinking of it's a little different than like going to a basketball game or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it still seems like, I don't want to say an unnecessary risk because, the George Floyd shit, like that was the most, to me, vivid in terms of like video capture of a police brutality murder I've seen. Like, in my opinion, like I know there's been a lot of other ones on video. That to me, when I saw it, like my heart like sunk. I was like, wow. Like somebody could really cold live get murdered like that. Like,
So who's the dude in New York?
You said what?
The dude in New York.
Eric Gardner?
Yeah, I feel like that one was for me.
That was bad too, but I don't think I saw the video till later.
Okay, yeah, that one.
And by the time I saw the video, I'd already made my opinion like the show was wrong.
Okay, well, I guess the video didn't help.
And I'm like, all top are supposed to be social distancing, so it's like you have your knee on his neck and shit. And the crazy thing was, and after I did some research and saw like, because I browse these right wing places. I look to see where these like what people are saying.
Go ahead, Doja.
And they're I don't comment. I'm just a viewer, not Doja. She, man, that's another thing happened in 2020. The cancellation of Doja Cat.
Yeah, that happened.
Crazy year. But I went on, different sites and talked to some Republican friends, and they were like, yeah, well, George Floyd had fentanyl and meth in his system. I was like, oh, so he was a drug addict. Oh, so that must excuse the cop from murdering him, huh? And then when I say that to him, it's like,
you can't flip that script.
It's like, okay, you state this, just random fact from his life that he was a drug addict. Okay, there are thousands to millions of drug addicts in this country.
It's all about changing perspectives.
All of them are supposed to, if a cop kneels on any of their necks, it's like, oh, they're a drug addict, so it's okay. It's like that shit. No cap is some of the weakest shit. Like, and anybody who's right wing who watches this, I know it's probably not a lot of y'all, but don't use that argument. That's a stupid ass argument.
You heard it here first.
Like, that's a stupid ass argument. Like, oh, he had drugs in his system. He deserved to die. No, he had drugs in his system. He probably was acting wild he was probably acting wild. It's like
the whole video, bro. You can argue with whatever you feel the need to argue with. If you want to make the discussion, if you really feel the need to try to convert someone's opinion the other way around, you're the problem. But we could go back and forth on this forever.
How you feel about all the protesting and shit, bro?
Me personally, I'm not a person to tell someone else what they can and cannot do.
But are you so if what they're doing is putting other people at risk, are you still for that? Like if what they're doing is literally causing a risk to...
If we can't tell the people in Michigan with the assault rifles and yada yada that they can't protest, I'm not about to tell the people down in Atlanta breaking into CNN that they can't protest. That's how I see the matter.
And I see it as, I agree with you, but I think for me, I want to call it out as they're both kind of stupid.
Should we be gathering at all in a global pandemic where you shouldn't be gathering? No, that's what common sense says. Like I'm in a realm.
No, honestly, I think it is. I feel like a lot of people don't feel that way. Right. A lot of people they're like, this is a time where everybody should be doing as much as possible for social justice. And I'm like, not now. Like this is absolutely not the right time.
I think that statement is correct with the way momentum is going and how we have so many people behind this movement. This is absolutely the perfect time.
But literally, the virus that's going on begs to differ. That's my thing. It's like theoretically, yes. But until you put a virus in the mix,
on a numbers standpoint,
sure. Like there's a lot of support, and also we'll get to after this.
It's a numbers standpoint, bro.
Like after the George Floyd killing, we have Blackout Tuesday, and a bunch of companies decided to just basically observe in their own ways, from shutting down their sites to putting a black screen just to show. I will say I wasn't. I thought that was moving.
I'm
not a fan. I wasn't a fan of that because
the black screen thing was so very self-defeating.
And I thought like the worst one to me was Call of Duty, Activision. So they pledged, we're gonna get rid of all the racist, chat that goes on in our, our multiplayer chat. I'm like,
that's impossible.
One, that. Two, this has been an issue forever. I've been playing Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time. There's always been that. I've been called a nigger more. Like I've been called a nigger more times on Call of Duty than in real life.
For sure.
By far.
For sure.
By far.
I think that was my least favorite thing about this whole thing. Whereas like you see all these companies talking about
Like,
stop racism.
We gonna replace Aunt Jemima now. It's like, was it okay before, but now it's not? Like, this shit's always been wrong.
Yeah, EA had this campaign where they were in all their games talking about, no hate, no. I hate how like how quick people were ready to. I understand it's a bandwagon they had to jump on, but it's like these issues were obviously prevalent beforehand.
The only one I was okay with was 2K in terms of like NBA 2K, because that's like for the most part that's a black demographic.
Don't know what changed there.
They had a lot of black history because 2K, like before you start a game, they have like a little TV jump that shows where it'll show like little news reports and stuff. So they did a lot of Black Lives Matter stuff for them. I'm like, that's cool because the NBA is majority black players. A lot of people play 2K are African American. I get it. Like that for something that relates to the demographic, I get it. If you're Activision and you've always had this racist, like just acceptance. Not I want to say culture, just acceptance of it. Like you're fine with it being like that.
It's part of the culture.
But now it's like the dollar bills are saying, "Oh, we need to change." It's like, that's fake to me. That's cap.
I mean, that's why the Redskins changed their name. The money was talking.
And look, I've been against the Redskins having that name forever. You know what I'm saying? I've been a fan, but we suck. So it's like we suck, and so all I can do is focus on. We have this racist ass name. We lose all the time, and now we're just the Washington football team.
That really is the pinnacle of all this. What's next on the list, though, man?
Man, I don't have a list in front of me, but shit, like, so we're in
April still?
No, we're not April.
We're
at
in
that
May?
point, because the George Floyd protest happened in
May.
The craziest thing that happened during the George Floyd protest, just as an aside, like I remember when protesters were marching in CNN. That shit was crazy. That shit looked like
you sent me the clip.
That shit looked like some end of the world type shit. Like,
I think you're a little dramatic about it.
No, because if you've seen like Walking Dead or anything like that, where it's like you see like the newscasters doing the news, but then like the zombies was like just coming to the. I was like, yo, like this is a little too close to home right now. Like that's kind of wild. Like they're literally breaking into CNN headquarters right now. Like
I was low key with the shit because it was a sign. I mean, one, they didn't really do too much. If you ask me, they broke some glass.
And it wasn't. It was because CNN headquarters is attached to the police headquarters.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
So it wasn't like they were breaking into CNN, but it was like CNN literally was
reporting it live and in charge.
That shit was kind of crazy.
Like I said, I don't think it was that.
I had never seen nothing like. I was like, 2020 is.
They broke some glass. They threw some things. A white dude got hurt. It moved on rather.
Like that was the moment where I was like, this year is feeling way too damn long. Like that was the moment I was like, this is.
I will say
this is insane.
It was probably the longest 5 months, especially going into May, that I had been a part of in a while.
Man,
since I was a weedless lad.
I think things start to kind of slow down in June.
Sure.
I'm gonna look it up really quick just to see. Like, I feel like we're missing something. It's crazy how you can like usually stuff that would make the entire year,
Just under the rug.
Oh my god! I guess we can take a little tiny break while I look up some shit.
Let's take breaks again.
I'm just taking a break really quick so I can.
What's the clock at? Do you know?
8:30.
Like recording wise.
We are at an hour and 24 minutes.
We're making good pace now.
Yeah, we're about to be done anyway. We're about to be done with this topic anyway.
We're about to do our future predictions on the world, what we're watching, and music, and call it a day.
Yeah. Oh, anime.
What we're watching.
Oh yeah, we're watching.
I'm sorry. That's you didn't have to kiss it.
Kiss the ring.
That's in my sandwich, yeah.
I give you a middle finger now. That is super far, bro.
Nick, your arms aren't that short. Nicky, what are you, not African? Weak. How un-African could you be?
Do all Africans have... Are you going to go on record and say all Africans have long arms?
Are we still in break?
It depends on how funny the answer is.
We have above average wingspans. You have your anomalies, but for the most part, we have above average wingspans.
Well, I am not African.
Whack.
I'm sure somewhere down the line I am.
Whack. Yeah, you got that part.
I'm sure at some point. I'm very sure if you go deep down the line, like
we have an African ancestor in you, but I can go with that one. Unless.
Also, okay, so we're back.
We're back.
Oh
god.
So the other thing I thought that was kind of important. This happened in June as well. The CDC and Dr. Fauci basically announced that because they were capping before and they said that masks don't really work. They said that at the beginning. They originally said that just to keep masks like in circulation so we wouldn't run out of masks. So they lied to everybody.
That's true.
And they literally just came out with their lie, like, yeah, we were lying. We were capping. It's like, wow.
Do you remember when the CDC announced like how long coronavirus stays on certain things and like what to avoid touching, and then a couple months later retracted all of it and took coronavirus and stick on things as much as we did?
And that kind of changed my thing. I changed my approach to this shit because I was washing my hands all the time. Like I wash my hands normally now, but it literally used to be like after any encounter anywhere I wash my hands.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and it'd be literally like wash my hands like 13 times a day.
I feel like I already knew it was the blind leading the blind at first, but after they announced that, I was like, yeah, niggas is just kind of just talking.
Niggas just making up shit.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, hear me out. Kudos to all the doctors and researchers trying to find out what they can. But we know y'all are struggling, bro. This isn't.
Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. Y'all doing God's work right now. Like, y'all are allowed to get stuff wrong.
For sure.
Just don't lie. Just don't lie to us, because y'all knew about the mask shit. Like, y'all knew that
China and Japan and all the been wearing masks.
Yeah,
that's before
y'all knew masks did work, but y'all lied. Like, don't do that shit. I'm not like, science is all about disproving things. Like, that's literally science. I'm fine with that. Don't lie. Don't lie to us. Hey, especially man. Dr. Fauci, who's given us, he's had such good grace with everybody.
They've lied before, bro. They just got caught.
It's just like, it was really discerning. Also, we forgot something that happened in January.
What's going on?
Man, and we said we forgot about it before we were talking about it earlier, bro.
What's going on?
The wildfires in Australia.
Oh, in Australia, yeah, we capped. Damn, bro, that's disrespected that.
It's been a wild year, bro. Because even everything else I stated was wild, but yeah, that happened.
I want to say the whole continent.
Hundreds of thousands of species gone,
just literally burnt.
Like.
A good portion of a very large island caught on fire, and that's kind of wild.
And that's the second biggest disaster that's happened in Australia this year. Like, that's so sad. Like, that's so sad that even happened. I always wonder, like, how do wildfires even, like, how does it get to that
There's
point?
A lot of street noise on how it did.
But I'm saying in general, like, is it literally just like...
It's a country thing, when it comes to Australia. Certain things in Australia, I believe... have a like, especially in like nature, have a higher potence to catch fire. Okay. And I think like the way their winds go and the way the heat is, because it does get very hot in Australia. Once things do catch fire, they tend to catch other things on fire. Oh, man. And yeah, I believe someone might catch me out on this cap, but I read somewhere that Aborigines, I think that's how it's called, had tactics and like ways they would manage these wildfires, like stuff. Right. And as Australia became less and less Aborigine, the newcomers didn't know these methods. So this is just this is a result of a lot of overturn, if you will.
Got it.
So
okay,
like I said, someone could email me tomorrow and say that was cap, but
yeah, some Australian science will be like, you're wrong.
I've been reading, you feel me?
That's not it. It's not like it made sense enough.
I've been reading.
So I got two more things really, because I mean we can go into smaller details. We're just going over kind of the big shit.
Keep going. We're here.
The next thing is the death of Kanye West. Oh my God, bro.
He's still alive, Nick.
I know. It's just the Kanye West that we knew, from, even like I'd say like 4 years ago.
I'm going to just say this. How well do you really know somebody? Especially some famous person you've never met a day in your life.
I don't know them that well. But my thing is, don't cap. If this is you, why are you capping? Don't get mad at me if I'm assuming this is you, but you're really capping. Don't get mad
at me for assuming.
But you've been capping this whole time.
Like, he was showing you something and you liked what you saw. I don't think you...
It's like Kanye just all of a sudden like, oh, I'm a Republican. It's like, that's convenient. Like, that's super convenient.
He showed you parts of himself, bro. Whether those parts were there before or not, I think that's on Kanye. But you liked what you saw from Kanye and ran with it. I think that's on the viewer.
Well, I'm not the only one.
Like I said, I think that's on the viewer.
A lot of people really saw this man as kind of like, I wouldn't say inspiration per se.
One of us.
I wouldn't even say one of us. I saw him as a guy who, when he talks, I will listen to a certain extent. Now, everything he said was kind of crazy. Still.
You were only listening when you liked what he said.
No.
I was like,
I didn't like when he called himself Walt Disney. I didn't like that shit. I didn't like when you ain't got the answer, Sway. I didn't like that. I didn't like that shit. I didn't like the Taylor Swift shit.
Where is that on your timeline?
What do you mean? Like,
for when you started liking Kanye, what he said?
Kanye always did things that there'd be certain things I'm like, I don't fuck with that.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be like, oh, I can't support him anymore. It was never that. It was always just like, damn, bro, like what the fuck? Like, damn.
But now it's crossed the line.
It's now you're getting to a point where he literally is saying, like, yeah, I'm gonna, I'm trying to take votes away from Joe Biden. Like,
I'm not gonna say
like, what are we even talking about right now?
I'm not gonna say and agree with anything that Kanye has said or claimed, but
you've been a Kanye fan, right?
For sure.
Like, you don't think this impacts how you feel about his music?
No.
So if he releases the album, like,
tomorrow, play.
See, I can't do it to that same extent. I might download
music.
I might find it in the streets.
I think you're looking into music.
So if it's a dope ass beat, but it's on some it's called MAGA. It's on some MAGA shit.
You know what the beat sound like? It's not that deep, bro. I'm seeing what the beat sound like.
So just getting you on the record, you'd play a song called MAGA by Kanye West with the Donald Trump sample. But
I don't know what's the
sample. But if the beat's hard, you'll play it.
I don't know what the song sounds like.
I'm saying this hypothetical song is a top 5 Kanye song.
It's someone telling me.
It's a top 5 Kanye
Nick,
song.
If Kanye drops a song called MAGA tomorrow, I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna listen to see what it sounds like.
I'm saying, are you going? But no matter if that song is good, never hitting it again. I refuse. I refuse to support something like that. Like that. Right. It's just like
you're free to support whoever you want to support, Nick.
I know, and I will. Like, it's just for me.
Kanye is alive.
It feels like he's been capping this entire time.
I'm sorry.
It's either he's been capping. No, it's not even betrayed. It's you've been capping this whole. Either you've been capping this whole time, or you haven't been capping and now you started capping just for clout. It's either one of those. It's not. There's no any in between, in my opinion.
What does he owe you?
He doesn't owe me anything, but I think there's an expectation that if you are a public figure to this extent,
you can't do certain things.
It's not that you can't do certain things. I'm not even trying to say that. I'm saying that if you are a public figure and you've literally made all of your money off the Black community for the most part,
sure,
you are supporting somebody who is, in all honesty, against the Black community in a lot of aspects.
Sure.
How is that not cap? Like, how is that not cap in any way? Like, that's literally the definition of cap, in my opinion.
What does he owe the Black community?
His success. Like, what do you mean?
Does he actually owe them anything?
I think. What do you mean? Oh, because I mean that's like. Of course
Kanye
he doesn't. Of course he doesn't owe us any like.
All goddamn thing. I say, look, this comes back to my previous.
Do you
statement.
support what he's doing?
Not at all. But I'm free to do that. I'm not gonna tell anyone else to do what they like, bro. What do I think? What he's doing is whack as fuck. Yes, I don't think we could bury him now.
I mean, I don't want to bury him.
You started this with.
I'm not saying cancel. I'm saying me.
You literally started this with the death of Kanye
I'm saying
West.
Me. That's me.
All
me
right.
feeling that way.
He's
I'm
dead
not
to you.
like me. That's different from me calling up to Spotify and me like hundreds or thousands of people calling up to Spotify. Yo, take this nigga's music off.
That'd be pretty deep.
That's canceling. I'm
canceling.
saying me personally. Don't fuck with
Probably should
any
have
of
put
that.
that in the beginning too.
I started off with saying I'm not going to cook play. I literally started off with that. Like, I will not do that.
Someone's got to run this
I'm
back.
not saying. I mean, I never said. Did I ever say, listeners, don't listen to Kanye West?
No, you didn't.
Never said
you
that.
Literally started
That
with
is
the death of
that
Kanye
is
West.
canceling. I mean, it is. In my opinion,
You did say to me. You said just the death of Kanye West. I was like, that's a little dramatic.
I mean,
it was
of the Kanye that we've known. It is. It is. I don't think it's dramatic. I really don't think it. I really don't think it is.
I'm gonna let you be.
I don't think it's dramatic. I think that it's a fair
The death of the Kanye we knew.
Yeah,
we don't know him.
I mean, Kanye's
we
not like,
don't know him.
But that's assuming Kanye's like most artists. Kanye literally pours his personal life into his music.
We don't know him. I'm gonna tell you again. We
know him more than most celebrities. I'll put it like that. We know him more than Nav.
Sure.
We know him. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's because you don't want to get to know Nav. That's all you.
But let's be real. Like Kanye,
you can get to know Nav if you tried.
Like no,
not because you won't try.
Nav gets kind of private anyway. I'm saying like if you're a private artist, that's completely fine.
Sure.
Like I'm good with that. But if you're an artist who literally made the career off showing us who you are.
You
and
know him,
that's
bro.
your personal life. Like your lyrics only make sense if somebody understands your life.
I think
if it's not like another rapper doing this.
I think
like,
you fell in love with what you saw. I don't think he showed you everything.
Nobody shows you everything. I'm saying you've made your money off of believing in one thing for the most part and making dope music.
Sure.
Now you are completely flipped the switch, appear to be bipolar and refusing to seek help, destroying your family. And you are threatening to send us into 4 more years of Donald Trump. All those things combined, I'm like, young, I can't fuck with you. Like, in any way can I fuck with you anymore.
I'm still here to play all this music. We drop some music.
I can't, bro. I will hit play to hear what it sounds like, so I can get no. So I'll give you an honest, because if he releases an album and we're doing the podcast,
You still
I'm gonna listen
for the sake
to
of the podcast, not for you though.
Here's the thing. For my sense of curiosity, yes.
You go hit play,
but
bro.
even
Leave
if
us
it's,
alone.
I will. But
Leave us alone,
if
Nick.
it's, I'll try to do it so he's not getting any support,
Good luck.
any monetary support from me, and I will, even if it's tough, bro. Even if it's
Why are you crying?
See, that's what happens when niggas hit the pad soft as shit.
Hey,
when
we
they're
all
not
heard that,
when they're not steadfast in what they're trying to do.
You stopped talking for a reason.
I was like, dang, this nigga hit it soft as shit. that was my thought process. But
ahead, Dick.
yo, if you fuck with Kanye West, listen to his album, you know what I'm saying? Bump his music, buy his shoes, all that. If you like me and you feel like this nigga has completely gone off the deep end and is a negative to the black community and just politics and everything in general, you know what I'm saying?
Is he part of our community?
I mean, he was.
Is he
He
still
made his
playing?
money off of us.
Yeah.
He made his money off of us.
Suckers.
I mean, yeah, I don't own any Yeezys now. Sold my shits.
Cool on you.
You know what I'm saying? Sold it before they lost value.
Someone's still paying it for him.
I'm sure like there's a whole market for Yeezy still. I'm sure that hasn't changed. I'm sure there's people still supporting, but I feel like it's less than it was before.
What's the next topic?
I don't know. The next topic is Kanye West.
Oh God, I'm done.
The next
Quit
topic is Kanye
podcast.
West, smart ass.
I am a smart ass. All right. So what are we doing? Predicts? What's going next? We run out of things to talk about?
Nah, I mean, I guess the last thing we could talk about is just
What happened in July?
I mean, just the stimulus talks, like they're doing another stimulus package. Oh, that's another thing. We didn't talk about them releasing a $3 trillion stimulus package back in March.
They did that.
And
Kudos to
then
them for stacking my bank account.
and they're planning on doing it again.
That's the goal. Trump signing orders and shit. You heard?
So I know Trump, breaking news today, signed an executive order to give $400 in unemployment aid to people.
That's what I read.
And what was the other one?
Something about adding pre-existing conditions back to Medicaid, or quote unquote bringing back a part of Obamacare, however you want to word it.
Irony at its finest.
You know what? Isn't it beautiful?
Irony at its finest.
I do like
man.
beautiful things.
Not been a good year for Donald Trump.
It's not been a good year for America.
Not been a good year for America in general, but at least some people like me have gotten like a $1,200 check or some sort, like something. I can't think of one thing of good news that his thing has gotten at all. Like because imagine like dealing with this shit. Like imagine you are in charge of getting us through this shit.
I'm sure he's having his own individual W's that we don't know about.
Maybe
On a personal scale.
Hopefully.
Not politics.
I hope something's going right.
Political.
I hope something's going right for him, because it's like
I could.
It's like Joe Biden's corpse could beat him.
Little cat there.
Yeah,
people are ready.
Do you disagree? Like if they ran Joe Biden's corpse,
the competition is a little more tighter than you think, Nick.
I don't. I feel like that it would the competition would tighten up,
Hey, bro,
but it's like I feel like they would run him. I feel like
people don't want to vote for Joe Biden alive. So
there are some people, but I mean, overall in the polls, like he's just
that's what it looks like.
Donald Trump.
I think he'll win, but you put a dead body out there. I don't know, Nick. I don't know.
Basically, we got right now.
I believe you, Biden, buddy. Don't get again, not controversial or disrespectful or anything, but nonetheless.
I fucking like Joe Biden. I'm voting for him, but
you and your beef.
Like a wise person on Twitter said, voting for Joe Biden is like eating half a plate of shit.
I would just think it's eating
No, it's half. It's literally half a plate of shit.
What? I was gonna say like eating non-frosted mini wheats.
I mean, I don't even want to put eating, as like, because that's like those are at least edible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can't even stomach anymore of Donald Trump.
That's the shit.
And I saved the most crazy thing I thought for last.
Sure.
This happened around the time of the protests. Man, when he sent the tear gas out into the crowd, like,
so he could go take a picture
in front of a church, and then the church like disowned him doing that completely. Like, we don't support him taking pictures in front of the church. I'm like, dang, the church even said, you don't fuck with you, bruh.
It was a poor decision.
But to me, it's beyond a poor decision. That is because before that, I was very much in the camp of I don't think I'm voting because I do not fuck with Joe Biden.
That's such a weird thing to motivate you to
Here's why.
get to vote.
Here, I can explain why.
Go ahead,
Because
explain
what
yourself.
Donald Trump did to me is a violation of the First Amendment. And the First Amendment is the one amendment that there should never be any games played with it. Ever. Because that's the one thing that separates us as a country from other countries.
I think it's more of a shame that that's what it took to get you to actually vote.
No, because that's the most important thing to me. If you
you got your own
if
priorities.
you are literally, because I don't think you understand the meaning.
Nothing he did beforehand motivated you enough to be like, I'll vote.
I think that
Nothing he said.
obviously Joe Biden is a better candidate than
bans.
Donald Trump.
Nothing motivated you to motivate for Biden over Trump before that incident. Not a single thing Trump did.
Well, I think Biden's just as corrupt as Trump is, just in different ways.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's as many differences as people try to make out. Like, it's not like Joe Biden has his own sexual assault allegations. Joe Biden he's the one who wrote the crime bill that incarcerated so many African Americans in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a lot of things against him.
Is it just him who wrote it?
No.
All right.
I don't fuck with any of them.
All right, just making sure.
Any of them. But he helped write it, and I think he was one of the main architects.
Sure.
So I don't fuck with him for a lot of different reasons. Is he better than Donald Trump? Yes. That doesn't mean that he's the answer.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I always put it like this. I live in Maryland, where it doesn't matter what I vote.
That's an opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. It's fact. If you look at the voting trends for every election in the past like 20 years,
that's the thing.
It's all Democrat. It's all Democrats who win Maryland. Maryland is a liberal state. So,
I do believe that.
Huh?
I said I do believe that.
So my vote doesn't matter. If I lived in your state, I would definitely vote for Joe Biden no matter what. Because I believe in any state where it's like iffy, where if he can win, no. I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Okay. But if I live in a state where it doesn't matter, anyways, why am I voting for this nigga? Like, what? I'm not helping or hurting him by not voting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because him winning the popular vote doesn't mean shit. Mm-hmm. Hillary proved that. Like, winning the popular vote don't mean shit. My vote don't matter in Maryland. If I live in Virginia or I live in Michigan or I live in Florida, if you live in any of those states, no matter what you believe.
If you live in Maryland, go vote.
Definitely go vote. I'm not saying don't vote in general. I was going to vote for Joe Biden.
You weren't going to vote at all.
I was going to vote. No. Because there are a lot of, there are a lot of races.
Who are you going to vote for?
There are a lot of other races than the presidential race in a presidential election. You know that, right?
Oh, no. I thought you were still talking presidential election.
No. Like, there are a whole lot of different.
That's why I was like, who are you going to go vote for?
No, there are a whole lot of different, like, races that you vote for. Individual senators, all that, local.
If you're in Maryland, go vote in this presidential election.
You vote. It's all the same thing. It's all one ballot. You go down the list.
I know what I just said.
Vote what you want to vote, obviously. But in my opinion, Joe Biden is just, he is the worst candidate. And the fact that he is blowing Trump out.
Woo.
It's such a like what happens if we've had a competent person running? It wouldn't even
He's not competent to you?
No. Watch an interview. Like, who's watching an interview whenever it's gaffe after gaffe after gaffe after gaffe. Like, the only thing that separated from me, where I'm like, okay, I literally can see a clear difference, was because at any point, I don't think I don't think that Joe Biden would ever send troops into the streets to tear gas protesters. But that's something that's never happened in history.
But that man's more competent than
what do you mean more competent?
Trump. You think Trump's more competent than Biden?
What do you mean competent?
What do you mean competent, actually? Please give me your definition.
I think he's more civil. I think that Biden is more civil than Trump. I think that Biden is...
Do you think Biden's more competent than Trump?
It depends on what you mean, because Biden doesn't seem sharp.
You literally said Biden's not
competent. Are you
going
to accuse Biden of being a sharp person right now?
Are you telling me Biden is less competent than Trump?
It depends what you mean by competent, because I would say no if you're asking me if he is as sharp as Trump. No, I don't think he's sharp as Trump. I think Trump, when it comes to just talking and just in terms of charisma, is still sharp. I still think he's sharp like that.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Joe Biden has a single ounce of charisma left.
This is the same man that made the conscious decision to go tear gas protesters so you can go take a picture at a church.
That's a civil issue. That's more of a like, is he like that is against the First Amendment to me. Like, you're literally, Like, that's not a dumb decision. That's almost an evil decision.
Word.
It's more like that to me. Like, that's like, you're going to infringe on our First Amendment rights.
Mm-hmm.
That's uncalled for.
Full competency.
That's uncalled. No, it's not competent. That's not a competent thing. That is because I think a young evil person can do that.
Okay.
Which means you're competent. This means they're evil.
Got you.
I think that Trump, when he did that to me, I was like, okay, you're really like, because before I'm like, you're just capping on all this bullshit you're saying. Like, no, you want to kind of be like emperor, basically. Like, you want to be able to do what you want to do. That's a completely different mindset than Joe Biden, who wants everything to just go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. That's wild. Like, and that was why I made my decision.
Got you.
But yeah, I think I don't, just because I'm going to vote for Joe Biden doesn't mean like everything is all good with him. Like, he is, and I truly expect, like, after 2 years,
just too old.
After 2 years, because he's already, in my opinion, too old now. And it's like there's a reason why you see Trump all the time and you don't see Joe Biden at all. You see him like once every couple weeks.
I think Joe Biden knows,
because they know if you put him on camera for more than 10 minutes in multiple settings, he's gonna start just saying wild shit. Like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like, if you like, come on, like, he had been hidden from the media, goes on the Breakfast Club, and that's what you say.
Another poor decision, nonetheless.
You weren't even be pressed. You were being interviewed by Charlemagne. Like, you ain't being interviewed by Charlie Rose. You ain't being interviewed by Larry King. You get interviewed by Charlemagne, and Charlemagne forced you to say some shit like that. Like, I was like, that's some stupid shit to say, especially when you're in such a league.
I think if you're prepared to vote him for president, you better be prepared to see him talk more than 10 plus minutes.
I'm prepared to see him do 2 years and then his vice president take over.
I fully believe he can make all 4 years.
Based on what?
Based
on what, bro?
I don't need to base it on anything.
He literally struggles to say sentences.
Let him get in the job before you fire him, Nick. Good God.
I'm not firing him.
You're saying he's not going to make it 2 years.
I truthfully do not believe, because he doesn't have that, he is not sharp up here anymore, which is a natural thing. Do you believe that old people
He might be smarter than you. You don't even know.
Sure. He probably has learned a lot more than I've ever known to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
He probably will forget more than anything I will remember.
Go ahead.
I will completely agree with that. That don't mean that he is where he needs to be. Like,
if Trump can be president, I fully believe even a senile Biden got this.
I agree with you. I'm voting for Joe Biden. And I've always been of the mindset that if
he'll make it all 4 years.
I don't see anything that says, like, I don't see it. Like, he looks horrible in my opinion. Like,
he'll be all right. I think you're a little too worried.
Viewers, look at a speech from Joe Biden from 2012. Look at one from now, like this year. Tell me that's the same person.
I think he's not on camera for the sole reason is he knows that Trump is ruining his own shit the more he does anything. The more he talks, the worse he gets. Biden literally just has
I think that's
there.
Less him and more the people who are, his campaign.
Kudos
and they're like,
plan.
Let's not have Joe Biden talk like that.
I think after the Charlemagne incident, he most definitely,
because he was on TV a lot more back before that.
Less, but like I said, I believe.
And then the first interview he comes back with, it's just like, I don't know. Like, obviously it's an opinion. Obviously, and yours is an opinion as well. Like, sure. No one knows for sure what's going on in Joe Biden's mind. I just need him to win first. I just feel like, damn, like, we could elect this nigga, but we couldn't get Bernie Sanders here. At least Bernie Sanders can shoot a sentence together, at the very least.
Maybe you just don't fuck with him on the low.
Well, the Democratic Party don't fuck with him on the low.
Talking about Biden.
You said Biden? No, it's not. It's not even that. Like, I voted. I've not voted. I would have voted for Joe Biden when he was vice president with Obama. I would have voted like. With all the shit, I mean, with knowing all the shit he's done, I would have still voted for him then. I would have still done it. But at the same time, I feel like people just ignore everything he's done and just like, oh, he's a candidate. It's like,
he is though.
He is, but like, why be ignorant about all the stuff he's done? Like, why try to ignore it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. It is a lesser to evils, but not trying to ignore what that evil is and just saying, oh, this is the evil. Like, Trump's the evil. It's like, no shit. We know he's the evil, but what is the evil you're about to elect? Like, understand what that is. I'm iffy on that because I would say no in favor of Trump because Trump's just had less time. He's only been in office for 3 years.
Is it even close?
Joe Biden has been in office for 40 plus years. So I'm assuming there's a lot of bad shit he's done. Like, I assume there's a lot. But
that's an assumption.
I mean, just go by his voting record. Iraq war just won. Like, that's one thing I'll say. Trump, at the very least, believes in getting troops out. Joe Biden believes putting troops in.
That happened.
Like, there's like, we can go down the list of different shit.
I believe it.
And I just feel that.
Is it really that close to you? Yes or no?
Like I said, Joe Biden is like eating half a plate of shit. Trump is a whole plate. I feel like that's fair. And I feel like that's me being fair.
I think you're capping yet again.
How is that capping?
Bro, if Trump is Trump is the whole plate of shit, I don't even think Biden is a plate of shit.
At least I'm saying no, because it's half a plate of shit.
You really think
it's half a plate of shit? Is eating half a plate of shit as bad as eating a whole plate of shit?
Nigga, you eating shit.
But is it as bad? There is levels to it, though.
If you can get the half a plate, I'm sure you can get the full down.
No, he's trying to make a point. Nah. Half a plate of shit is not as bad as a full plate of shit.
I don't think Biden is even a plate of shit. I think you're just hating on the man. He's really. I understand he's got some negatives above him. All right, good luck finding a person that doesn't have any.
Bernie Sanders.
He's just pure as fuck, huh?
Not pure as fuck, but like on most of the. And look, this is all like.
He's probably a lesser evil than Biden.
Look, this all goes back to my politics.
That's personal.
I personally believe that Medicare for all and climate change are the two most important.
Huh? Should be in Canada.
Too late now.
For what?
Not moving to Canada yet. Too broke.
Too what?
Too broke.
Too broke. Oh, no, it's too early.
I don't got that.
God, that was lame.
Hey.
Yeah, it's not too late. It's too early.
I'm gonna edit that part out.
What, me calling you lame?
Yeah. I'm gonna edit it out.
All right,
Nick, the producer.
Lame. Like I was saying, it's too early.
But just to end it, because I mean, we going in circles.
Are we?
Yeah. I guess for me, like, I believe Medicare for all. I believe free college. I believe free marijuana. Not free marijuana. Legal marijuana. I believe a lot of these things.
Okay.
Joe Biden doesn't believe. Trump. And these are some of those important things to me.
Sure.
Joe Biden don't believe in any of them. Like,
that's true.
He doesn't believe in any of them. So why should I like be all, oh, he's a great candidate? Like, to me, in my opinion, he's not.
I'm not asking you to say he's a great candidate.
I'm saying me calling him, for me, he is a half a plate of shit.
Okay.
That's fine. And look, if you like, I'm sure if you, whatever the fuck Joe Biden believes in, because God knows if anybody knows what he actually believes in. I doubt anybody.
I think you should do some reading.
I know. I'm saying most people I talk to do not know. Mm-hmm. Like, they can't list to me his policies.
Gotcha.
I have to tell them his policies. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't understand what his healthcare plan is.
Yeah.
You know, like, you just assume, oh, it's, you know, it's better than we got right now. It's like, oh, but what does that even mean? You know, it's like this assumption that he's better infuriates me. Not that he isn't better, because he is. Mm-hmm. But this assumption that, oh, he's better and like that's the answer. It's like, okay, did you do a little deep dive into what he believes in? Like, do you do any research, or are you just kind of like going by he's not Trump? Because if we're being honest, anybody would be doing better than Trump. Anybody elected right now would be doing better. I can't think of one person, if we put him from the Democratic primary, who would be doing worse right now.
I hear that.
Like, I can't think of one person. Because Trump is doing so bad.
Come a little closer to election day, you might get a little more people.
I think we're gonna have I think it's gonna be a little closer.
I think. Yeah, I believe more information will come out. More people will get involved naturally. I think, believe it or not, Biden's policies and headlines, whatever he's going for, campaign even isn't the top story at the moment. Like, he would be in an election year, because we just had a whole podcast on the year and it's only August. So
that's crazy. In most years, like, we'd be struggling to come up with shit for a whole year in August. But shit, man.
But that's the real situation. So I think Biden's been able to ride that wave pretty well, where people are voting for him and don't even know what he's even trying to campaign for. And it will.
And I think that's a problem. I do think that's a problem, because if shit's not okay, because it will really blow me if like everything just goes back to normal type shit. And it's like, we have no discussion over like, because honestly, I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are going to be like, if everything goes back to normal after election season, they're going to feel like did they just dick us? did they just like make this whole shit up?
That would be
And
hilarious.
then once you see them niggas in the streets or some shit like that, you know
I'll
what I'm
be
saying?
geeked. I mean, we'll see how protesting goes for them.
But I mean, overall for the year, like, what do you expect? Do you expect the vaccine this year?
Yeah, I was about to say something. Cut me off.
That was by design.
Fuck off, Nick.
You don't mean that.
Genuinely.
You don't mean that.
Genuinely on guard. I'm putting a shirt on.
You know you sound like.
Nick, I'm gonna remember what I was
Why
thinking
are you
about.
crying?
That was you. Stupid. It's such a dumb fucking thing. Everything.
I think you're just mad at how many times I use it.
I think it's stupid in general. It's stupid the minute you hit that button and you realize what the sound was. I'm not changing that now. Not literally from the first time you use it till now.
Well, I ain't changing that shit. None. Never.
Good for you. I'm not gonna get it. Just thought it. I was saying, cut the fuck out of me.
Damn, nigga.
Oh, I was saying, I think you're over analyzing a situation that doesn't need to be over. And I get what you're saying. Voting for a candidate and not understanding what they're even trying to back.
Like, you're not voting for Joe Biden. You're voting against Donald Trump.
And that's the thing.
And that's fine.
We're in
I'm doing that.
That's, yeah.
I feel like anybody who's doing that and hasn't looked up, like, because I feel like, for example, like Obama, for example, a lot of people voted for Obama and didn't understand, but they's like, oh, he's a black president.
That's how a lot of his vote was that.
And while I don't fuck with that mindset per se,
okay, you're more okay with it than this one.
And not that I'm more okay with this.
It sounds like it.
No, I'm not more okay with it. I think you should, like, being informed is the way to go.
It's very important.
Like, it's the most important thing. But back then, at least I know Obama in terms of, like, back then, like, it was there was huge problems in our country in terms of, like,
there are now.
Yeah, I mean, it was different problems. They had a financial crash.
That's true.
Like, it was a huge recession.
Yep.
So
Biden's got a bigger job.
It was an anti-Republican vote because the Republicans were in office, like, when the crash.
Isn't this?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I get it. I understand it on some level, but you need to know what you're voting for.
I believe
no matter who's in all, like, this mindset of just vote because they're Democrat or just vote because they're Republican, I feel is just so stupid. Like, it's just stupid to me.
I generally feel like you have a little deeper tie to it because of your political background.
Of course.
And I like I said, I think you're overanalyzing a situation,
but I'm
that
like,
doesn't need to be overanalyzed.
If I don't, and other people who follow politics don't overanalyze it,
no one will.
No one will. And
That's
it's
true.
like,
you're not wrong about that one.
I just feel that people, I don't expect everybody to know everything.
Look at the
politics.
situation.
But we have but it's not like the 90s where we literally have phones in our pocket. If you want to Google Joe Biden's campaign, you literally just Google that and it's right there in front of you.
We're the most uninformed people with the most information. I get it, Nick. Nick, look at the situation. It's a situation where we all know we can't have the situation's as clear as day. No one really wants this man back in office. We know we shouldn't have this man back in office. No. You shouldn't be voting for Trump.
He's an existential threat, in my opinion.
Once you say that, what's the argument, Nick?
My argument is, all right, but once Joe Biden gets in office and he starts doing some shit that you don't like, don't act all surprised. That's my.
We'll come back to that. Don't preach, Nick. Tell him right now.
That's my
Tell him in years
in
advance.
Like, because it's not like, I like Obama as just an overall political figure, but like, I didn't fuck with Obama's policies. We had the most drone strikes under Obama. We had the most people getting deported under Obama. These are things that people don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm afraid that's going to happen where it's like,
I wouldn't be surprised if
where Trump gets unelected or not. Trump doesn't get elected. Biden is our president. And then it's just business as usual. But the same fuck shit still happens. Weed is still illegal. Colleges are still such a huge expense.
I can understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to vote for Joe Biden, understand what you're voting for so you can put pressure on him if he's not doing shit you fuck with.
I can understand where you're coming from, especially since he doesn't have any of the policies you agree with, but still you feel like you have to
it's my top policy.
I understand
if they weren't my top policies, I probably wouldn't care that much. But it's the fact that like Medicare for all is so important to me because we have so many other countries that do it
and we don't.
And our insurance companies are just like basically middlemen. They're like the mafia. It's like we have a student loan debt crisis. We have all these different things going on, and Biden is going to help with one of them. That's fine because Trump's not helping with any of them. But understand that we have so many other things going on. Now, I'm sorry, there's another thing. Climate change. He's much better on climate change.
That's way better than Trump.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That's not even a competition.
Like I said, I think you just need to understand what the situation is. You gotta read the room, bro. We don't even have to think about who we're voting for this year. Most people don't.
And I feel like that is
not a good thing.
It's
reality.
It's really sad to me because
it's our reality.
I feel like the Democrats are going to, because the Democrats are a lot of ways responsible for what happened with Donald Trump getting elected.
Not wrong.
I feel like this is a recipe for this happening again. Like, it's a recipe for you to get Joe Biden in there, do a whole bunch of shit that people don't fuck with, and in retaliation, they vote for somebody even crazier than Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's just call a 2-year timestamp on it now, and we'll come back to this.
Hopefully the podcast is doing this. I could do
that shit would be hilarious.
And I'll have a I told you show thing on the pad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course you will. Next topic. Where we going?
We'll have the budget for it.
I remembered where I was talking. That's what I was happy about. I thought I was going to forget it. Thank God. I think we were trying to do future aspects now, huh?
I mean, we were kind of doing it with the election and everything.
All right. So I got Biden winning. I got coronavirus fucking up the fall. I have...
To what extent?
Just in America, honestly.
Like, do you think it's going to be worse than what it's already been?
I think the coronavirus mixing in with the common cold and the flu season is not the way for all old people and putting kids back into school. But if we still doing sports, I'm here for it.
See, I'm iffy on the school thing because it's a lose-lose situation in either case.
It is, but you got to look at the bigger picture.
If you close school, where do the kids go?
Where they've been.
Home, right?
They haven't moved. It'll be a calendar year, technically.
That automatically creates just basically inequality gap in between.
You're not wrong.
Kids who are able to be homeschooled by their parents or their nannies.
Or whatever.
The mom who works at Walmart, the dad who works at Target, and the kid who has to stay with, whoever.
I'm not arguing with you at all, Nick.
Like, that part to me, when I look at it like that, I'm like,
yet again,
that is a big hit. And for me, who already feels there's a huge gap, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is gonna push it to astronomical proportions. And so I'm not for like every state should open up their schools. I'm for it should be a state issue. I think
schools should remain closed because kids are gonna spread the disease whether they have it or not.
But do you feel? But I feel like if you like the situation in Florida might be different than the situation in Maine.
I get that.
I feel like that's why I feel like it should be a state issue.
I think we should keep them closed till we see how the fall goes, and if it's not as bad as
open up in
Fosse
January,
and all of them are really January's still cold, bro. I'm thinking March.
You can't open up March. You gotta open up. It's either you open up now or you don't, or you open up in January. You can't just
January
because it starts the school year. You can't transition from out of school to in school.
I think that depends on vaccine and not.
But in the middle of the semester, you can't do it. You just have to wait till the next school year. In that case, you can't just open up in the middle.
I think they would try to transition kids back into school. I think it'd be a quarterly thing. They'd be
it'd be too much work. It'd be too much work.
If they were willing to do it at first, I don't see why you would be willing to do it in the middle of a year.
But that's what I'm saying. They're going to do it at the beginning of the semester. They're not going to do it in the middle of the semester. That's
what do we do? Quarters still? Colleges are different, obviously. I think if we're thinking
because
universities, I'm thinking elementary and like high school and shit. They do quarters. Some do.
I think some. I don't think I did.
I did quarters. Either way, I think
private school and public school is different.
I think you definitely have the opportunity to throw them all back in that school if it's safe enough. Like I said, I think you should wait it out.
What's the judge of that? Like I don't.
I think it is a state by state call.
Yeah, I really do think that in Maine, I think Maine's one of the lowest affected states.
I think
sure. Like, let's try those states that haven't been affected by it. I'd say try that. Don't do it in Florida. Don't do it in New York. Don't do it in Seattle
because they've already failed. You feel me? I don't want to see other places do it and it turn left. I don't think this is a situation where you should risk anything. I guess
my argument is it didn't get that bad because of the schools being open.
Believe that. I don't like I said, I think we're experimenting with a
and
different
obviously
demon.
The social distancing still, obviously the testing still, like obviously that.
We're not testing for students, are we?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think if you're gonna
go
open
back to school.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be in every. And I'm sorry, I said state by state, which I'm technically right. I think it should be county by county.
That's even closer. All right.
I think county by county. I think county by county gives you
so
a
now
better.
You're
because there are literally counties in America that haven't had a coronavirus case. You know what I'm saying?
I saw probably somewhere in South Dakota. Somewhere.
Yeah. I'm saying, and there were a lot that had minimum. So I think it should be a county by county issue. I think it's a lot
to expect each county to manage their own coronavirus shit effectively, at least without proper.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It should be by the state should be the people in charge of making sure the county should be making the individual decisions, and then the state has the right to say no.
I believe the system could work. I think
that's why I said it's a state issue. But I think it should be up to individual counties, and then they have to get approval by the state to open up.
This is my situation. Yeah. You send them back. Let's say
I'm not saying this fall. I'm saying at earliest January.
All right, so let's come to January. Let's say it's still cold. The common cold and flu are still going around. I like your January plan.
And I'm saying this in just the expectation, just based on how science is going.
Yeah,
we've done a lot better in terms of decreasing the amount of times tests. How like quick the turnaround for tests are.
That's true.
So I assume because if I go to the doctor for a flu shot, well, not flu shot. If I go for a flu checkup, they know it off rip. Like,
you're making assumptions, but I see what you're.
No, I'm saying I'm just basic because it used to be 2 weeks.
Now we're getting it down.
Now it's down to days. I can only assume it's going to get to hours because that's how that's how
modern
I know with the flu. When I had the flu last year, they stuck the shit up my nose. Maybe 20 minutes later, they gave me my results and they said I had the flu. So I don't know if we'll get to 20 minutes, but I think we can get to somewhere reasonable.
Will we get there by January?
That's the question, and I agree with you. Right. If we are at that point, that's my caveat. Okay. If we are at the point where we can maybe test in an hour wait, yes, I do. Okay. I do believe that we can try this out.
I'm here for your theory of January. I don't think September, August.
No. I should have been clear about that.
Yeah,
no,
not September,
that's
August.
Too soon.
People are trying to send them
down. It's getting cold. No,
I want to see how the winter-fall season works out. With coronavirus before I start sending kids to school.
But.
All right, so we're on the same page.
But even me saying that is me admitting defeat in the sense of
this discussion.
No, I'm always right. I'm always right, America.
I'm always right.
But it's me admitting defeat on the grounds of the inequality gap in terms of education.
You understand
that's a battle that has been lost.
That someone or something is going to have to suffer with these decisions. You understand that, right?
Right, and that's a shame. It's unfortunate.
It's a shame,
but that's how it is.
It's a shame.
You know,
we've
lost a lot this year.
It's a shame.
That's unfortunately one of the things that we lost.
This is not one of those.
I hope that I do think that I'm glad this didn't happen in like the 80s or anything like that.
Lord knows,
because now we have a lot of tools like. You can teach a lot on YouTube, like I hope a lot of parents.
I was almost going to get Masterclass.
Masterclass? Which one?
Isn't it like a whole package? You just get a Masterclass account and then you just start using them?
I don't think it works like that. I thought you have to buy individual ones.
Lord if I knows.
Maybe I'm not speaking for fact, but I think you have to buy individual ones.
All I know is I was ready to get an account.
I did Skillshare. And that's how I learned how to code websites and stuff.
That's dope.
So yeah, Skillshare, like stuff like that. Like there are a lot of different avenues to still learn, even when you're not in school.
I didn't do the masterclass event.
So if you're a parent out there listening,
I watch more anime.
If you're a parent out there, you're struggling with deciding to send your kid back to school. If your county is opening up,
I'll send your kid back to school, bro.
I agree with you. If you're not going to send your kid to school, please keep them educated in some way, because God knows, I can only imagine if I was out of school as a kid for a whole semester with no learning. But overall, man, this year has been shitty, to say the least. But
I'm sure there's other adjectives.
I think that if we can get everything, if we can become just smarter, and I feel like we are heading down that path a little bit. I feel that America.
Oh gosh,
America.
I don't know. I think some people gotta go.
America with 3 Ks. But I think that...
I think some people gotta go.
I mean, they're going. Hopefully. Literally, Corona's taking care of that, unfortunately.
They're not that old.
But I think that just even the vibe on mask has changed in the past couple weeks. Because I remember, in the prime of, this shit.
For sure.
Niggas were anti...
When Trump said mask are American friendly, I said, damn, he done changed the whole tone.
Yeah, and honestly... And that's when people are like, oh, what he says doesn't matter. I'm like, literally, when he started to change his tone, I stopped seeing this bullshit in regards to masks. I really did.
I am seeing y'all motherfuckers who just be putting it on y'all chin talking about wearing y'all mask. Y'all not slick.
Anybody who's wearing it under their nose, it's I won't say it's it's doing something, but it's not doing enough. Put that bitch over your nose, Please.
You're half-assing it, bro.
Please. You ain't saving yourself. You're saving others, motherfucker. God damn.
You heard it here first. Get it, dude. I mean, if I ever use the DJ sound, this gotta be you.
Okay. I'll accept that.
All right.
At least I accept my faults. You failed to admit that you have a problem.
Everyone loves this.
I should check you into rehab.
You're, again, dramatic. Everyone loves the DJ sound. They know it. It's just you.
Everybody knows that sound too. Funkmaster Flex, nigga. You like I heard that sound all growing up. On the radio
right now, the streets love what I'm hitting with. Next topic.
That's a biased point of view.
Whatever.
And I don't trust anything Alonzo Hater says.
I don't know why you think I'm Alonzo Hater.
Nikki, you don't know why?
No idea.
No idea. All right. No idea.
Not a whole podcast to prove a thing.
All right.
Bro, people know I'm not a hater, bro. I was stating my honest opinion on a person. You thought because the bench was mentioned.
Wait. Can our honest opinion not be hating?
Hey, bro. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Can there be two Can they both be true?
I'm not disagreeing with that. But
it could have been honest and hating.
I'm not going to get back into this too deep because people about like, these motherfuckers talking about this shit again.
We're talking about Lonzo every week.
Me saying Lonzo coming off the bench, I don't think that's a hateful statement. I genuinely think any NBA player should have the ability to come off the bench and be an effective player. It's basketball, bro. Some people should never come off your bench, and I don't think Lonzo's one of them.
In the words of Dwight Schrute, false. I'll leave it at that.
Did he create that word?
He created that way of saying the word in that context.
Next topic.
Lonzo Hater. Anyways, bro, what you been watching?
Fuck, man. Same shit as last week, bro. Nothing changed. Fire Force episode still coming with that heat. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is getting better and better. RIP Avdol. Damn, bro.
Is it becoming a top tier anime?
I've heard the next season's even better than this one, but this one's got me on some like, oh shit, what's next?
Really?
So we here with it, bro. This is definitely one of those. I finally watched the last 2 episodes of Haikyuu to the top, at least the first part.
Damn, I got to get back into
it. I've read that the second part of the 4th season is coming out in the fall window for anime. So if that comes, get ready.
I might just wait till that comes out.
Get ready. I just seen the new season of 7 Deadly Sins came out on Netflix. So hey, if you watch 7 Deadly Sins, good for you.
Here's my thing about 7 Deadly Sins, because it's an anime.
It's for sure an anime.
It's definitely an anime.
It fits all the tropes.
I think we said this before, and I literally just came to this conclusion today. It literally is like Dragon Ball Z. It's the most like Dragon Ball Z than a lot of other modern animes, because it literally is.
Maybe Dragon Ball had a better plot, bro.
When you come down to it, yeah, but it has the same concept of I'm stronger than you.
Let's fight.
Let's fight. You know, like
he's my evil twin brother. Let's fight. You're my homie. Let's fight. There's some love interest in there, and then it causes some fights.
I mean, there's love interest in Dragon Ball Z too.
And it causes some fights.
It's a good anime, but
if you like fights, watch 7 Deadly Sins. If you actually care about a story, I can get you hip on so much more.
It's like if anybody told me that's their favorite anime,
I would really have to educate them on some shit.
Yeah, I might have to
let's
I gotta show them at least like some other highlights. You know what I'm saying?
But on the genuine, what I've been watching, now that I finished up Haikyuu, it's full force on
Fire Force.
Nah, it's week by week. I'm still watching God of High School week by week. That's just that I'm telling you, that last episode, bro, like it.
Okay,
it's episode 5 was better than the final episodes of a lot of anime I've seen. Genuinely,
damn.
And I think that's high praise, if not any.
It's on episode 5 right now.
Literally, I think Monday will be episode 6.
Have they skipped weeks? Because it seems like
maybe I'm tweaking. I missed the episode, but nonetheless,
it seems like I remember that coming out like maybe like at the beginning of the summer.
Week by week, bro. I think the summer season starts in July, and
okay.
We're in the first week of August, so they're making good pace.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But nonetheless, yeah. Got out of high school watching week by week, Fire Force week by week. We're full speed ahead on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and we're going from there. The list is coming. Nick is trying to literally force me out of my anime commitment, which I'll say I've done a good job of going straight anime, but we'll see what happens, world.
Look, I'm not forcing him to do anything. I'm making friendly suggestions.
He's not, though. That's cap. He's yelling at me on the phone on a consistent basis.
On the low, unfortunately. Like fucking Geppetto.
All right,
but
Nick, what you been watching, nigga?
All right, so I've been on an anime wave as usual,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with first this show I've been watching. It's premiered on Netflix this week.
Ooh.
Highly anticipated.
Ooh.
The Umbrella Academy. Now, the Umbrella Academy is probably the most interesting superhero show to come out in the past couple years, just because it's a family.
Word.
And a lot of superhero, I don't really see a family of superheroes usually. Like
Incredibles. In live action, probably not.
Yeah, I guess you can say Incredibles, but
in live action, probably not.
Yeah, and even that's more of a real family. This is like every one of them are adopted.
You can start with that. Okay, go ahead.
So just a brief synopsis, not even a synopsis, but just a premise. Not spoiling
Do
it. I need everybody to watch this shit. I'm not trying to dissuade anybody, but basically on, I believe it was October 3rd. I could be wrong about the date, but I know it was the 3rd. 43 kids were born all at the same time by mothers who weren't pregnant. So they just had kids at just randomly. One rich motherfucker went and bought 13 of them from the mothers.
You can buy kids like that. That's tough.
He's rich as fuck.
Hey, how much does a kid go for?
I don't know. Shit, man. Shit. Whatever it is, he splurged that day. But he bought, no, I'm sorry, not 13. I'm wilding. He bought 6. I'm sorry, 6.
That seems a little better. I was about to say 13 just for his number.
I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry. 13 kids 13 mothers got pregnant.
Word.
And he bought 6 of them.
Tough.
I'm sorry. And that is the Umbrella Academy. He raises them to be superheroes because they all have individual powers.
Word. Is it because of the mother? Is it because of some experiment? Is there a backstory?
We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't even know yet.
There's a comic, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, no, don't do that. That's like reading the manga of an anime you like.
Yeah, but it's
source material.
So their powers are very interesting. They're not so OP, but they're interesting. One, for example, he's a strong nigga.
Spoil it.
He's a strong nigga.
Spoil it all.
I'm not gonna spoil it. One's a strong nigga. One has the ability to aim anything he throws.
Any time travel?
No. But one can try and travel. And he's my favorite character actually. So
wait. Did I ask any time travel for you to say no and then tell me one can time travel?
I thought you said that dude's particular can time travel when I was talking about when you said it. And I was like, no, he can't. But there is one that can.
Never mind. I hope you heard me.
But his time travel is very fucked up. He can't really time travel correctly.
That's tough.
So
he'd be too strong.
He can literally warp through time. So he can warp through time and space. So he can teleport. Basically instant transmission. But he can also instant transmission.
Instant transmission can do time.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's instant transmission, but it's also with time as well.
Oh, okay.
But he fucks up because he can go too far up and then not be able to go back.
Ooh.
So, because it's all based on calculations. He has to do real math
to get his power to work. That's tough.
And so, but he fucked up the calculation and he ended up in the apocalypse.
Word.
And so when he finally figured out how to get out of the apocalypse, he worked back, but he went too far back in terms of biological time. He's like a 60-year-old man at that point. His dad told him, don't time travel because you don't know the stats yet. You don't know the numbers. He's like, I'm going to do it anyway. He's like, I think he was 13. He's like, I know, I'm fine.
Wait, so when he time traveled, he aged also?
He time traveled, lived 40-something years. An organization that controls time basically said, we can get you out of this and teach you how to time travel correctly if you work for us. And basically what they do is they cure any anomalies in the timeline.
Ooh,
so they're all assassins.
So it's like a time space kind of police?
Yeah, but they're assassins. So
okay.
He gets recruited by them. He's their OP person.
Word.
But
he's like that.
He betrays them because...
Spoil some more.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil why he betrays them. But he basically goes to try to help his family. But when he try and travels again, he misses. No, he doesn't miss. He gets it right on time. But his biological time changes. So now he goes from a 60-year-old man back into a 13-year-old boy.
Well, all the knowledge he has.
All the knowledge. He's an old man, but he's like the actor who plays him is 13, 14 years old.
That's tough.
But he's like a 60-year-old. And this kid kills it because there's never a point in time where I do not believe he's a 60-year-old man. he sells it so well.
All right, cool.
You know, and at this point, when he travels back into where his siblings are, you know, they're now older. They're now like in their like probably like I think they're like 28, 29 years old.
Mm.
One is he kind of followed along with his dad forever. Everybody else kind of went their separate ways. One of the girls, she's black. She has a power where she can just say, "I heard a rumor." It's basically like a Gias.
God damn it!
It honestly is. Oh, now I didn't put this together. It honestly is like Lelouch's Gias.
Really?
It's like, I heard a rumor that you killed yourself. You will shoot yourself.
Word. All she has to do is say, "I heard a rumor."
Yeah.
That's tough.
So she's tough, and she's tough. Like I love her too.
So all she has to do is get close enough to somebody.
And then do you know what Ellen Page is?
No.
The girl from Juno?
No.
Damn, you don't remember Juno? Good ass movie. So Ellen Page.
I need a picture. I don't do names.
You remember Kitty from X-Men?
I need a picture. I don't do names.
You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Hold up.
Thanks.
You're welcome. As always.
Not really though. As always, it's definitely a stretch.
You really meant it.
Cap. Oh, that's fun.
But Ellen Page, she's like the big star from it, and so she's been in like Hollywood movies.
I believe you.
She's the only one that's been in Hollywood movies. She is the one sibling with no powers.
Whack.
But there's a mystery behind that. That no spoilers. And then the lead, and then there's this I think I'm missing.
What is this? The Jack Jack effect?
No comment.
Nixon, damn it.
I'm like, why did you make that comparison? I mean, I'll be honest though. If you assume she has no powers, but she's just randomly a part of this, like
the Jack Jack effect. Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's I've always liked her as an actress.
Oh no, she's in a lot of good things. She's a good actor.
Yeah, she's
that picture on the far right, but not the very bottom, does not do her good justice. But nonetheless,
and she's not the main character,
but she's a good actor.
But everybody's like, you know, kind of they're like an ensemble character.
She's Jack Jack,
right? No comment on that.
Everyone loves Jack Jack.
No comment on that.
I'm assuming it's the same science.
And there's the youngest person. He is the youngest brother. He can like talk to the dead.
What a waste.
And the crazy thing is, like, their brother died when they were young.
So you should be talking to him all the time.
And his brother's afraid to go into the light. So he just hangs out with the brother that can talk. But they low-key hate each other. But it's like he's the only person he can talk to. So.
I'm sure he's useful in like crime-solving situations.
They get more powerful in their abilities as the show goes on.
So he gets to talk to big animals next?
No, he can do some other tough shit, though.
Oh.
I would say. And the second season, I'm not going to spoil the first season, but just suffice to say, they end up in 1960 in the second season.
Where were they in the first season?
Current day. 2000. The show came out in 2019. They were in 2019.
You should say present day.
I mean, it's not present now. It's not present now.
Depends on what the show. You probably should say when the show came out. Then say present day. Yeah.
But yeah, it came out 2019. Took place present day. They time traveled to 1960, and that is the most interesting period you can possibly put like a superhero story because like there's so many things going. Like the black girl off rip, like suffice to say, when the season ends. Like she's in a really the first season ends, she's in a very interesting situation where she can't really talk. And so and her main power is to
talking.
Right. Like so she can't really use her power and shit. And she walks into a diner to try to get some water or something.
Oh no, that was a wrap.
Yeah. The white dude points at the sign like
no.
I'm like, oh, 1960, that's crazy. Meanwhile, all her white brothers and sisters are just like adopted. It's just like whatever, basically.
She's probably not a hard time just being there.
And she basically she gets, and another thing is each one of them gets there in a different like year.
Word.
So like she gets there.
Why are they all getting there?
Because I don't want to spoil it.
But I was trying to get you to.
Yeah. Asshole. Not even to me, to all our viewers who want to see Umbrella Academy.
The spoiler is coming.
But nah, like she gets there first. So she gets there like 1960.
Nick, what else are you watching?
No, I'm getting she gets there 1960. Like her other brothers get there like 61, 62, 63, 64.
Sure.
And so
in that order?
Not really. Like,
Go ahead. I'll just fuck with you.
I know. Asshole. But she gets there and she basically becomes like like part of the civil rights movement.
Wow. Wait, without the ability to talk?
She refuses to use the ability because she's like, I want to get this off of the merits of the justice,
Good for her.
not based on the powers and shit.
All right, I'm happy she
But
had
then
her
her husband finds out, and he's like, why are you not using this power?
Her husband.
Yeah, she gets a husband too.
Wait.
She was there for 4 years.
Wait, isn't she only 13? Oh, she's older.
They're like, no.
Different
The kid, the guy who went back in time is 13, but he's really 60 and mentally. She's like 28 at this point.
Got you. Thank you for clarifying that. I thought they were all like kids.
Yeah, so she's there for like 4 years.
Okay.
And she,
has a life.
Yeah, and it's like, but then her siblings come in and it's like, yo, we
What's
got to
going
save
on?
the world from someone. She's like,
Oh, word.
what? We have the whole civil rights movement's going on. What you talking about? I'm like, this is an interesting like dilemma.
I've got priorities here, bitch.
Type shit. Like I love the setting. I think that, probably one of Netflix's best shows, if I was already ranked them, that must watch. If you like superhero shit, if you like even just a deep dive into like shit that happened back in the day, like
Word.
good watch.
Good history.
Gotta watch the first season though, which isn't really history based, but just a good overall show.
Right.
Mary J. Blige is in the show. Weird, random fact. She's a assassin
Word.
named Cha Cha.
Could have done that better, but hey.
Type shit. She's great too.
I
Mary
believe
J. Blige is a kind of underrated actress.
I
I ain't
believe
gonna
that.
hold you.
I'm not gonna listen to anything she's in because I'd be capping. But
Dang, you be capping? Oh, you don't know anything.
not a thing.
She was in a couple things. The other thing,
Go ahead, name.
Mudbound. You ever see that?
Nope.
Damn, Mudbound's a good movie.
Not doubting you.
Savage movie about civil rights and shit. But I digress. The next thing I've been watching is Code Geass.
Why the deep sigh, Dick?
It's one of the most difficult anime I have to rank.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Because if I were to, if anybody were to ask me, yo, should I watch Code Geass? I'd be like, absolutely.
Ooh, no doubt.
Absolutely. It's must watch anime. But then when we get to the tier of, okay, is it one of your favorite animes? I'm like, aspects.
That's on you. That's a personal preference.
I think that Lelouch is definitely a top 10 protagonist. Like, without question for me. Because he's flawed, which a lot of these shonen protagonists aren't.
No, some are perfect. I mean, some beat a wall and then surpass them.
But it's like his flaws kind of make him, because like no matter what vile shit he's doing, you cheer for him.
It's true. You want Luce to win.
You do. And I think that that's a very good, like, thing they have for this anime. I fuck with that. The plot is all over the place.
Ain't it?
Especially in the second season.
Oh my god.
The first season goes over pretty well. But
Even
then when you
end.
combine it with the second season, you think of it as one story, it's like, okay, the whole thing don't make sense. So it kind of ruins the first season.
The second season
don't
don't make sense.
But it's still the same show.
It is.
So it's hard for me. And it's not like it's still the same shit going on in the second season. It's just the roles are different now.
It's a lot going on, honestly.
I will say my favorite character, Nanali, was done justice, throughout the whole show.
She did have a little evil moment. I wouldn't say evil as much as like she was just not fucking with anybody. Mostly Lelouch.
I mean, Lelouch was doing some evil shit though.
Hey, bro, it's for the greater good.
I mean, was it? That's the big question for me with Lelouch, because
whose side was he really on?
He was on his own side.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he admitted it.
You gotta love Lelouch for that, bro.
Do you know what Lelouch reminds me of?
Me.
You wish.
I have Lelouch.
You wish.
Watch me start a revolution.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, continue.
He reminds me of Walter White.
Who?
Dang, you don't know Breaking Bad. The nigga from Breaking Bad.
Thanks.
So, just to spoil Breaking Bad, because if you haven't seen Breaking Bad or Code Geass at this point,
because that's the timeline. You just watched it.
Hey, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So, throughout the whole show in Breaking Bad, they asked Walter White, why are you selling this meth? Why are you doing this? Every time he's like, it's for my family.
It's not for his family.
Nah, it's not. Like, but everybody knows he's capping.
Huh.
But, that's the right thing to say. You're like, yeah, it's for my family. So people are like, oh, it's honorable, At the end, at the last episode, a lot's happened. He meets up with his wife, and he's like, she's like, why'd you do this? He's like, and she's like, and do not say what I think you're going to say. He's like, all right, I did it for me. Completely for me. 100%. And that moment felt earned. The moment it happens in this show felt completely earned. It happened in I think the second to last episode.
Hmm.
I think Suzaku asked him, and he was like, "I did it for me." And I was like,
So I did it to avenge my name.
He's
nigga.
like, stop saying you're doing it for Nonali. He's like, all right, you're right. You're absolutely right.
For fucking me, nigga.
Now I'm like, you know what? That elevates you in terms of my favorite protagonist. Because
Bro,
before you were in the top 20. Now you're in the top 10. Because now we're coming full circle here.
You did it for him, goddamn
I fuck with the self-awareness.
That whole show is so self-aware. Like even the terrorists are like, "Fuck, what are we doing?" Like,
yeah. And I would say like the people within the Black Knights.
Black Knights. Yeah.
The people in the Black Knight, they were glorified side characters.
They were,
but goddamn, if I didn't like their stories.
They all had their own little thing,
especially the leader dude.
Yeah, where he found the old op girl, but he loved her.
Especially when he took bullets for her. And I was like, oh, like you real like y'all are. This is earned.
He was a real nigga all the time.
I will say a lot of the things in the show are earned.
I generally feel
it's not cheap.
It's
not cheap shit.
There's filler episodes.
100%.
Everything happens for a reason in that show. Deadass.
I agree.
I fully believe that.
I respect
every action gets a reaction.
I respect the journey. I don't like every part of the journey,
but it's a goddamn journey.
God damn it,
it's a journey.
If that wasn't just an overall, just like good anime.
Look, I'm happy you said it.
So highly recommend. It's on Netflix right now. If you
you
can get it through the streets as always.
Apparently,
but definitely watch this.
What sports you been watching, fool?
I've been watching basketball. I mean, what sports are there to watch besides soccer and basketball, really?
UFC. Is the UFC match on right now?
Damn. Haven't been watching that.
Look, but if anyone's watching, Champions League football's back. It's been fantastic. Shout out to Mauricio. Sorry. It was fun while it lasted. Europa League's back, because soccer's back. We're gonna draw the last. Basketball, I think these playoffs are gonna be very exciting.
I think so too.
I'm very curious to see who gets the 2 seed in the West.
I'm excited for my team. I'm excited for the playoffs in general.
It's gonna be good.
And this is the first season where I'm a Laker fan and everything, and I'm hyped for our.
Who would have guessed?
But I don't know. But if we lose, I'm good with it because one, even if the Lakers win the championship, I don't see this as an NBA championship anyways.
But if they win it,
I don't see it as an NBA championship at all.
I think it counts now.
No, I don't. No,
really,
not to me.
Not to you.
Not to me.
Why? Because we didn't start this way?
Unless coronavirus doesn't affect anything. If everything stays as good as it is right now, okay.
All right. I'm okay with that standard.
If anything changes,
I think
if we're in the playoffs and one player who's like a meaningful, valuable
if the
player,
Rockets drop out because of it,
right?
Total.
That's my not just the Rockets. Like I'd say even a player of the magnitude of
Nets bench player.
Show. I'd say I'm trying to think of a good like baseline.
I
would say a player on the magnitude of like a Paul George. If he drops out, that's not your best player. But god damn if that ain't a hit. You know what I'm saying?
At the standard and rate at which we're moving now with the NBA bubble, do you think this championship will count? At the current pace.
If we stay to the standard we have now, yes. Right, I agree.
I'm excited.
I think
the championship is going
to
go
agree.
the other way.
I refuse to
believe.
I refuse to think that nothing is going to happen.
Fingers
because
crossed,
because this virus don't give a fuck about us finishing the season.
Look,
you know,
it's got its own agenda,
and
how
I'm not going to
waiting for the NFL. It's got its own cross eyes.
Maybe it'd be some shit if nobody gets infected in the NBA, but like
if the NFL just goes to shit, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be either.
I would not be surprised.
And I anticipate that that's going to happen.
It could,
because the NBA at the very least is making. I'm just being silly out here, but I feel like if the NBA has made this much, you know,
they've gotten this far.
They've gotten this far with it.
They've
done such a good job in terms of being serious about all this.
Actually caring.
If any league deserves to be able to finish their season, and obviously it don't matter. But if any league deserves,
they put in the effort to get to the end
it's
of this.
the NBA and the UFC.
And I mean, they don't have seasons, so.
I mean, yeah, I'm saying like just stay open, be able to stay up
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like if any, like because they were the trendsetters.
Oh, I mean, they really didn't have much to trend.
They didn't, but they were like
they went about their
from
business,
the trend setting from the standpoint of you need to take it this seriously
for sure.
take it this seriously,
Testing
and you have
daily,
a chance.
limit numbers, get it popping. Like,
right. Like if you do that, you have a chance.
Mask up, all that.
Except
for Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was trying to shake everyone's hand. You know,
I'm so mixed on Joe Rogan because I'm a Joe Rogan podcast watcher, man.
Word.
To see the flip flops. Like, it'll literally be Joe will have like some person over on Zoom and they're talking about how bad it is that people are wearing masks. And then he'll have like some other people like, yeah, masks are stupid. It's like, you're really just going by what the guests are saying right now.
Hey, man,
like,
he's got his platform.
I know, I
He's
feel
free
it.
to say what he wants to say.
I respect it.
I will say it was funny as shit how they were having interviews in the cage and Joe Rogan refused to stop shaking people's hand and they had to do it through distance. I found that hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, we all want things to go back to normal. And some people don't want to shake. I haven't shaken anybody's hand.
I haven't dapped someone up in you.
I've dapped people up. I haven't shaken anybody's hand.
What's the difference?
Well, I consider this dapper too.
Okay, I haven't open palm dapped anyone up in months.
There we go. Yeah, I haven't done that. Like, you know what? No, somebody made me do an accident. Like, they stuck their hand out.
They made you accidentally do it. They've confused you, Nick.
They confused me. It was so quickly. It was so quick, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah.
You forgot.
He's like, I'm like,
that's your fault for being fragile mentally.
but at the same time, didn't we say it, like surfaces and shit don't matter?
We did. We're still not supposed
so
to.
It's like we're not supposed to, and I'm like, but I don't feel as heavy about it as when things first started.
I guess the big fear is who's sneezing in the elbows, who's sneezing in
because
the hands.
The one thing I've stopped is touching my hands and my face.
I cannot say the same. I got allergies. That shit is never gonna work for me.
See, I have allergies too, but like I'm just more because before I wasn't even cognizant of it. Now I am super cognizant, and I have hand sanitizer with me at all times. So if I touch my hands on my face, hand sanitizer real quick.
I definitely try to keep the hand sanitizer around me. You feel me? Camera ain't here, but we got this.
Maybe Corona was just something sent by God to say, be clean.
I'm a strong believer.
Get cleaner.
I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. It's a shame a global pandemic is what we needed to get motherfuckers to start washing their hands properly. But hey, you live and you learn.
Type shit. What you been listening to, bro?
This actually hasn't been that bad of a Friday for music. If I'm just putting that out there,
yeah.
I thought a good amount of content dropped. Personally, Popcan dropped the tape. I don't listen to Popcan. I'm just putting it out there for anyone does. I'm not a big on that type of wave of music personally myself. But IDK and JID dropped the track. I thought that was one of the best tracks to drop this weekend. And Choppa dropped his tape. Didn't listen to it.
I didn't either.
I
forgot about that. Then I saw that on my timeline. I forgot.
Young Dolph dropped the song Death Row. Wasn't too crazy on it, but it came and went. 2 Chainz dropped the song with Lil Wayne.
Didn't hear
it. It wasn't too crazy. Lil Wayne had the better verse. Juice WRLD in the Weekend dropped the song. Thought it was pretty forgettable.
It was,
and
that literally is the word. Like,
that was forgettable.
It came and went.
And the Baby Deluxe dropped. Listened to the whole thing, but some tracks weren't that bad. Personally, the Baby dropped his deluxe. So
I didn't hear that.
No, there's some good track. I
kind of want to have a little mini discussion
about.
How do you feel about these artists releasing these deluxe editions?
I think EA. I think Uzi started a fucking. I feel like deluxe was always a thing.
Not like this.
But people were not dropping new
deluxe
projects.
albums.
People are dropping new projects and just calling the deluxe of the other project, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
So
I'm here for 1,000%.
I was on Reddit and I said the same thing you said.
I love it,
and I got attacked on Reddit. It was like, bro, these don't suck. Like, it sucks. It happened. It's like, now you gotta weed through all this crap. I'm like,
y'all are ungrateful
it's just
as fuck.
More music.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciate
anyone who doesn't want more
like
music.
The album that you heard is still available.
You can
it just added more songs to it.
He said, "No, it's ruined the project for me." All right,
it's like, okay, it's just all music. Like, and look, you don't have to like everything. That's fine.
Just can't be choosy, bro. I'm taking all the music I can get,
man. And shit, Uzi started off right with.
I'm telling you, when
Love versus the World. Like,
he dropped the deluxe, and it was a whole new fucking project that made that change. It was the next Friday. It was literally the next Friday. I was here.
It was such a surprise. I wasn't expecting it either.
I was genuinely here for all of it, bro.
Type shit. What else you been listening to? That's it.
We
can go Rob and listen. Cause I know we listen to the same project. I want to talk about.
How do you say his fucking name? I never researched it, bro.
Eminem?
That's the professional?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. I'm not even gonna say it. That's how you say it.
It's not anime. It's not anime.
Yeah, there's the damn apostrophe over that E. But he dropped this tape called Limbo. Me personally, I didn't think it was too crazy. You feel me? It was nothing that I was like, bruv, this is it. This is made the list. There's good tracks. I'm not gonna tell you this project was bad, but it's definitely not going. You're not gonna catch me playing this too often. That's just how I put it.
Respectable.
But when it comes to what I've straight up been listening to, that's pretty much it. Like I said, nothing. It's been better because 2020, in my opinion, has been such a poor year for music. it's actually been one of the more notable Fridays in recent
Through
memory.
no musician's fault.
But it's the reality of the world. But genuinely, nothing too new, nothing too crazy. It came in and went. I probably got some things I plan on listening to still that I didn't. I know Lil Key dropped his tape. I'm not a big Lil Key fan. But for the most part, it came in and went. What's up, Nick? What you been listening to?
So, and it's hard to say.
I'm gonna try it.
Why did you name yourself this thing? I'm sorry, but Eminem. I'm sorry. So, I've been a decent fan of Eminem. I've been decent. I like Good For You. Like that album came out 2017.
Didn't listen to it.
It has some decent songs. That's the one that had Caroline. That's the one.
I heard that song for sure.
Yeah, that was his main single. And then he had stuff like he had a song called EBGB. Oh, yeah, EBGBs. That song, it's with Kalani. I fucking love that song.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I see potential. I don't like every song on here, but I see the potential. I give that album maybe like a 6 out of 10. Like,
word.
It has some good songs, but overall, I don't go back to it like that. I go back to the main singles. He released a mixtape. I forgot the name of the mixtape. And it was okay. It was more trap.
Dad dropped the song. Oh yeah, forgot to listen to it.
Me too.
Big WAP for that fan though.
It'll be listened to
for sure.
But yeah, back to Eminem. His second mixtape, it was okay. More trappish.
Again, did listen to it.
It was okay. This album, well, I won't say you're capping because music is one of those things where it's like, unless you're saying some wild shit like
I don't think I was disrespecting it. I don't think it was a bad
as long as
project.
saying if you're not saying some wild shit,
it's
like
not a bad
After
project.
Hours
Like
is
I
not
said,
a great
I don't
weekend
think-
project. As
I
long as
didn't
you're
say
not saying
that
any wild
either.
shit like that.
Where are you just bringing that out of
I
nowhere?
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I felt like you disagree with Nick. Nick's either you're a hater.
Oh no, he's found me out. Oh no. But
go ahead.
Not as entitled to his opinion. I feel like I can understand it because, you know, if you
might
haven't
be
heard the growth, there's no appreciation for that aspect of it. That was one aspect of why I fuck with it so much. The other aspect is
context, baby.
Yeah, context that. And also, I think I just enjoyed the songs a little more than you.
That is true.
That happens.
I thought the production really well. I thought he wasn't going for the trap sound as much as he was using trap beats. But I generally think
he's not a trap rapper.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah, he's not a trap rapper.
I've learned that very quick.
He raps over shit. It's like how Drake's not a trap rapper, but he'll trap beats every now and then. You know?
I think Drake, for a culture vulture that he is, very versatile. I really believe that. But
and Eminem doesn't match. He doesn't match the versatility.
Yeah, I don't think he
anyway.
even has the energy to really. I mean, pressure on my palm, in my palm.
Pressure on my palms.
That really is that was a banger one. And
that might be the best beat I've heard all year.
All year.
It's.
Ooh.
I've heard that song.
That's a discussion, ain't it?
It's like
any beat on After Hours.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. And I love the beats on After Hours.
Tough.
But that beat on that song, even off EA, it's like
I can't agree with you there at all, but go ahead.
I know, but it's like the beat on Pressure on My Palms, which features Slow Tie and it features Vince Staples. And I'm convinced that Isaiah Rashad is on like 2 bars in there. I'm convinced. But, you know.
Call up Isaiah, let him confirm.
Yeah. Somebody DM him. Like, yo.
Maybe you're the topic artist, whatever it is, because I can't say his name.
But that beat, man. That beat is so, and just the beat switch. This is like
great beat switch, by the way. I mean, that is how you execute a fucking beat. Like I said,
like that beat switch.
Beat. I don't know if it's deep.
It's honestly also the way the song comes in too, because it comes from Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, and it's like he's doing like a chant that's similar to Pressure on My Palms and Shimmy Shimmy Y'all. So when he ends it on Shimmy Shimmy and the Shimmy song, he then goes into Pressure on My Palms, and it's almost like the same song.
I can't give him credit for that simply because Shimmy is his own track, but I do understand that. I like how he did that.
Like that was super impressive to me. And it's like it started the track off on the right foot, and then it's just the beat. It's dark, but it's also just like it has a West Coast feel to it too, with the 808. Man, like the features. Amazing. One of my favorite songs of the year.
I think for English, goddamn. For sure the best song on that tape.
Absolutely. Well, I'd agree with you, but Fetus is also
it's a really good track.
A great track as well.
I believe.
And just because of, I don't know if many people are familiar with Injury Reserve. Like they're on one of the rappers, Grog, he passed away. And the verse he spits on there is very, very
timely,
haunting and timely. And that aspect of it really excelled the song, but even just the beat, like that cloudy ass beat is perfect.
That's it. Not a bad project. If anyone is thinking I shouldn't give it a listen, give it a listen. It might be for you.
Like I feel like you lean towards the 6 out of 10. Feels like
for sure. It's like I said, not
For me, it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
so
I'm probably more 6, probably 5.5.
We're a little divided on it, but I think we both can appreciate the artistry.
Like I said, maybe if I knew the artist before, I'd respect it a little more like you did. But this is my first full project for him. For me,
I will say
this is my intro.
I liked him before. I'm a fan now.
I think
like,
this is
I am anticipating his next release.
Really, yeah. I think this got me to at least, if he drops a single, see what it sound like. You feel me? If I like where he's leading his next project, like I said, I like some of the avenues he took, and some of it is just a miss for me. I think it was a little too pop on some trappish beats that just didn't match. I think he should diversify his beats a little bit more, if that makes sense. I'd say his beats here weren't diverse. I think he's got a whole different lane.
It sounded like, honestly, I could see all these beats being rapped over by JID.
For sure. I was thinking a bunch of times, where's Pusha T?
Yeah. He doesn't have, like, I can't say there's like an Aminé type beat.
Yeah, I really don't even know what that is.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that.
So
that's why it's not 10 out of 10 for me. Like, it has its flaws. It has its flaws for sure, but just the bright spots on it for me just elevated.
Good high points. I think it's not appreciated how many projects don't have a lot of good high points. Where maybe the project overall is solid, but there's not a good amount of individual tracks that's stood out. So I think this is kind of the opposite effect, where you got your tracks stand out, and you've got yours that just kind of fade into the background. But not a knock on the project at all. It came together well. I love the interlude, and I think having good interludes important.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually listened to the Pop Can album,
the whole thing.
I was playing Destiny last night and
just played it. How do you feel about the
Destiny's not really a story game, so it's like
you
just they show the text on the screen. I was like, whatever.
So how was the reggae album?
It was okay. It was like
nothing crazy.
It was exactly how I thought it was gonna sound. I will say that I didn't like the Drake songs like that.
I did like the P&D feature.
As I told you before, I don't hate the song. I don't like Drake's. I don't like Drake's contributions to the song.
Is it a song you come back to?
No.
All right, that's how it comes.
If I was like partying and everything, going out to parties and shit, yeah, I'm sure I'd play that song and dance to it and everything. But this is Corona season. I ain't listening to this. I ain't listening to that shit indoors.
Hey, do it how you do it.
Nah, but overall, I think it was a pretty good week for music.
Word.
Considering we've had a bunch of droughts this year. I remember, I feel like was it last year or the year before? There was one year where it was just like good project coming out every.
2018 was a very good year for music.
2018 was the year
for music.
Just consistently dropping shit. And I was here for it. But overall, I think hopefully we get some more stuff we haven't heard about. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, I'm hoping for more surprise projects. You feel me? Just drop some shit and let the streets on fire. Bro.
I think we're due a Drake project. To be honest, I think that we're due for a Drake just surprise release. I think or not even a surprise. Maybe like just hype it up.
The last one did make you happy.
That wasn't really a release though. I was like he was just releasing like shit that already got leaked.
On it. No, I know.
I heard I heard maybe 70% of those songs.
A dude literally sent me the album before it dropped. Dude, like literally just
after track. I literally got this link off Reddit that had all his unreleased ever.
Wouldn't be surprised if we heard
I would say maybe 9 of those songs.
Like I said, I'm not a big leak person. I think people should leave leaks alone, bro. Let our artists drop whatever they want when they're ready to want.
We wouldn't have half of Cardi's catalog.
I believe that. I believe we'd have Cardi's project by now if we'd had so many leaks.
I don't believe that. Yeah. I believe that has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
I think it's got some factor.
Absolutely.
All his music is leaked.
Absolutely no factor.
Such a catalog he has leaked. I mean, a lot of Cardi's leaks could go down as
he has so many leaks that it's impossible that none of those are not his fault. Like, at least one of
that statement is inarguable, but that was a very broad statement, Nick.
like it had to be like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like you gave a flash drive to the wrong person.
Somebody he sent the link to somebody he shouldn't have. That motherfucker shared it to whoever. I don't know. But long story short, I'm not a big leak person. I understand some music we wouldn't have without leaks, but I think if I'm making music, leave my music alone, bro. Stop trying to leak before I'm ready to drop it, bro. It's my shit.
Release some shit then. That's the argument.
Like, I can quit right now. What you gonna do?
I feel like Drake's not a good person for that argument because Drake consistently releases stuff. So it's like, don't leak his shit. Don't leak his shit.
I don't know if Drake's the artist I'm like fiending for right now. I'll take a Drake project.
I'll take a Drake project. We're probably gonna get a Kanye project at some point this year.
You can keep that, but if it drops some hit play, I think Kanye should take it easy. We'll wait.
I truthfully hope that he doesn't release anything.
I
I
think
hope
he
he
should
I hope
focus
he
on
gets
him.
checked into
I think Kanye
not
don't need
rehab,
to
but like
focus on him.
something where he's getting help.
Maybe.
And so he can save his marriage. I
Right.
hope that I hope
could
that
care
all
less
that
for his marriage.
Damn,
Marriage
nigga.
is a thing
Yeah,
that comes
yeah.
and it goes, bro. I hope
That's not how marriage is supposed to be, nigga.
that's how it is in
That's
current
not
days.
how
People get married left and right
But
nowadays,
that's
bro.
not how it's supposed to be,
It's a
though.
business
We don't
partnership
want
now.
we don't want
I
that.
can care less what he wants.
Nigga, we don't want that.
Who is we again, bro? Who is this we character?
The streets.
if-
The
if-
streets don't like divorce.
If Kanye is not happy married, get divorced right now, Kanye.
I feel like his divorce is stemming from things other than just not being happy.
Nigga, I'm not in his life. But long story short,
Shit, might as well be.
if
might as well be.
if Kanye's therapy is dropping a project, go ahead, Kanye, drop that project. I'll listen.
No. Do not release an album, Kanye. I feel we'll get a Kanye album this year. I think
I
we
just
might
want
get a
a lot
Pusha
of
T
Ray.
album this year.
I would take that, bro.
I think we might get a
I
Pusha
just
T
hope it's
album.
not 7 fucking tracks.
I'm fine with that.
I want more.
I'm fine with
I
that.
want more.
Dakota was so good.
I'm
Daytona. I'm sorry, Daytona. Daytona was so
Said
good.
Dakota. I said we're going to Dakota. But nah, look, bro, hear me out. I think why Daytona part of it was so good is because it left you wanting more every time you listen to it.
Absolutely.
And not that was a bad strategy, but nigga, I want more, nigga. He's not gonna catch me twice. You're not gonna have me fiending the same way you had me the first time. So
I hope we get that. I think that, I think like there's somebody else who I'm missing. I think, is it just me? Or we're missing, I know J. Cole's releasing an album this year.
that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
What happened to Maybach music, bro?
Maybach music?
What happened?
Don't distract me. We'll get to Maybach music in a second.
Don't distract me.
Does it feel like prime time for a Kendrick Lamar album?
It's been.
What's going on?
We've accepted. It's the Frank Ocean kind of situation.
No.
Really?
I haven't accepted shit.
All right,
haven't
when Kendrick
accepted
drops,
shit.
I'm taking it. Did you accept the Frank Ocean situation?
No, not really.
Oh, obviously.
I wasn't.
He drops when he's ready, bro.
Look, it was amazing when it came out.
He
But
drops he gave us 2 projects.
I
in
do
one
not
day.
forget all the missed release dates. I do not forget all those.
That's good.
It was a struggle.
Don't hold a grudge.
From 2014 to
Don't hold a grudge.
2016.
No one
it
likes
was
a
like,
grudgy nigga.
it's like, yeah, Boys Don't Cry coming out.
Don't be a grudgy bitch. Don't hold a grudge.
I mean, that's impossible for me to be that. So
Don't be grudgy. No one likes that.
not grudgy.
You sound a little grudgy.
Not grudgy. Just like, what the fuck?
You sound grudgy, bro.
Nah, not grudgy.
They told you something and they didn't come through with it. I can understand that. Nick, we're in 2020.
But
You're
I
still
guess
holding
my thing
2014
is,
grudges.
what we expect of artists now is a little different
Sure.
because before it was kind of okay to just take 3 years.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Why is it not now?
because the marketplace would decides everything. I feel like Kendrick.
I think it's the artist.
I feel
think
like
it's the
Kendrick
provider.
Lamar when he came out with "Damn," that was like.
I do not think music is a field where the consumer decides when the artist gets to do what they want at all.
Yes, it is.
I
If you want to make money, yes.
Once you reach
it is the most clear.
I think-
because if niggas are not playing your shit,
You're not
you
getting
are not
paid.
going. So yeah, no. It is the most clear.
I think it
the
applies
consumer matters.
till you're at that level. I fully believe Kendrick, Frank, throw whoever you want in that list.
Look,
they
and
don't have
this
to
is an
drop
example
regularly.
of waiting, but this is an example of
This is
just because
starving
you're
your
coming
fans.
out and you're like Chance, for example.
Sure.
Chance got huge. Didn't mean shit. You could fall.
This is true.
He fell.
I think,
He got to the place where you thought he couldn't fall,
but
he
nah,
fell.
I didn't think that.
I
think
thought
he had room to grow.
once he released Coloring Book and that shit was independent and it was selling like that, it's like, oh, that's a different category.
I thought he could always fall off as long as his
I
music didn't
I
deliver.
thought he had reached the point, and it's like, no.
I think we know Frank and Kendrick, as far as we know, are going to keep delivering. And I fully believe they have the ability to drop whenever, and we're just going to sit here and take it.
So I feel like 2020, it's a lot going on.
Make whatever
And
excuse you need
it
to.
seems like, I'm not making excuses. It seems like the year where it's like, you should probably drop your shit.
Yeah, if he
'Cause
doesn't agree with
it's a
you, he's
political,
not
it's a
dropping.
political ass year, and you are a political ass artist.
That is him.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised if he
like,
stayed quiet.
I say that because I heard you're Run the Jewels. Run the
I
Jewels
didn't hear
2.
the most recent project.
Run the Jewels 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, Run
Is
the
it
Jewels
4,
4.
isn't it? Yeah,
4,
well,
sorry. Run the Jewels 4. That
like
is a
that.
top 5 release for me.
Really?
That shit, and it's needed, and you can tell that Mike probably wrote some shit late. Like he wrote some shit that was like relevant to when it was coming out. Like he wrote some shit about, I don't know if it was exactly about George Floyd. It was very on the nose.
Got you.
It was like that, and to me, I was like, yeah, this is dope, just because this was needed.
Uh-huh.
Kendrick is on that level to me in terms of like,
He can do
you
political.
rap about this shit. That's your brand.
To Pimp
That's
the-
your brand.
To Pimp a Butterfly was really.
That's the
that-
most
I know,
political
that's his
album I
whole
probably
brand.
heard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think his brand's a little farther than that. But go ahead.
I think after Damn, yeah. But before that, it was mostly political shit.
I think that
Mostly
was the
political,
direction.
mostly like hood politics shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was his brand.
Got you.
Damn kind of put him more in a mainstream category.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, like, this is the time. Now, I think maybe the label might be saying
I
something.
think you just fiending.
Absolutely. Kendrick Lamar's probably my favorite rapper. You know, and it's like,
Not a bad
it
choice.
sucks that, damn, like, I haven't heard you even on features like that. That's another thing. I'm like, damn, I haven't heard you in like 3 years.
quiet.
It has been.
I think the most recent is J-Rock's project, 2018.
Damn. Yeah. It's like I mean, I think he was protesting and stuff, but besides that, it's like,
Look, if he doesn't
damn,
drop
I
any
hope-
music, you gonna still be fiending the next year like you are this year.
I think that if he dropped it could ease because like there is a
He can set the streets on fire.
There's a hole in terms of like
music content for this year.
because even like the weekend, like I love the Weeknd's project, but it's not the like definitive best weekend project by everybody.
We've been had this discussion.
EA is the best Uzi project, but even the best Uzi project has a certain cap of how great it could be overall in the year. In my opinion.
This is a project of the year.
It is, and I'm like, that shouldn't like. There should be albums, in my opinion, that are because even when like, for example, like Love Is Rage dropped, that was tough. It dropped the same year as To Remember Butterfly, so I'm not about to like. There's levels in
Some
my
people
opinion.
really didn't like To Pimp a Butterfly.
I understand that. That's not me. For me, like when like a Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Even like a J-Rock, they're on a different tier to me than a Uzi.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that they're better, but I anticipate their projects a little more because there's going to be a little more meaning into their projects.
That's opinion.
Where Uzi, it's going to be trap shit the whole time. Like
Someone could be feeling Uzi's lyrics, bro.
Name me some Uzi lyrics.
All my friends are dead.
That's a lyric. Okay. That's a lyric. That's a lyric. That's definitely a lyric. That's definitely a lyric. But like, you know, I'm just saying, I love Uzi. Like, I love his music and everything. But I don't anticipate a Uzi project like a Kendrick project.
I can understand that completely.
Even like a J. Cole project. I might enjoy a Uzi project more, but I will say that a J. Cole project will give me a little more because he's gonna be talking about some deeper shit than Uzi ever's gonna talk about.
I can understand that. It's just not Uzi's.
Now I might enjoy
lane.
Uzi.
That's not Uzi's lane at all.
Yeah, there's a bunch of J. Cole projects that I would not put over like EA.
I fully believe that.
But I get a lot more out of J. Cole.
We're in August, and right now Uzi, from my opinion, has the album of the year. I think if EA drops in 2019, 2018, maybe it doesn't win album of the year. But not maybe. It's probably not.
2018, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. There are so many good projects in 2018. It would struggle, man.
Astroworld is 2018. Good God.
Oh yeah, like even Astroworld is on the same like wavelength as EA.
Honestly,
in terms
Astroworld's
of like,
the album of 2018 to me.
I agree. And
so it can't win that one. 2019, I'm trying to think, but that's a separate discussion. We've been on this topic.
We can talk about. That might be a whole topic we could do. Honestly,
that's the later problem. Where
we can
we
start,
at, Nick?
honestly, we should do a topic rating years in music. At least from like 2015.
I think we'd have to listen to some projects to make sure we're on the same basis.
Absolutely. I think we should go 2015, 2020.
That's the timeline. I think go 2014. I don't know why. I like
2014.
I like the year.
That is the year where I first became aware of Metro.
Haha. I like the year.
I think that you might.
That's
be
a good start.
There.
All right, but shit, where we at now? What's the order?
Man, we done.
We done.
We done. Bro.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Yo, everybody who tuned in last week, we got a good amount of views on our video.
More than I expected. It's only
what I'm saying? I hope that y'all fucking with as much as we are. You know what I'm saying? Like
really just talking.
We just talking. We're having a good time. We hate each other. We love each other. You know what I'm saying? Like going
this
back and forth.
So crazy. You stay using that word.
Well, we?
Yeah.
That like a curse word or something?
Nah, you just using it like I'm involved.
Nah. Nigga, you on that mic? You are involved.
I'm gonna throw that in for good remarks.
You got a little addiction to that little button.
Hey, bro, addiction's an ugly word. I would like to say I'm very, very familiar with it.
You've done it more than 12 times in the podcast.
This podcast alone?
Yeah.
Someone get the counter, yeah? I think it's like an 8-9.
Still a shame. I probably pressed the bomb button like maybe 4 times.
I'll go 5. Look, there's no counter. I can put a number out there.
But yo, thank y'all for tuning in. If
Yeah.
y'all have any suggestions, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Don't be afraid at all. We gonna get
y'all got my Snapchat.
Yo,
Use that
what's your Snapchat, bro?
Feel me? Add me at Snapchat NYKOTT. You feel me? All lowercase, no spaces. You and I we bumming.
Excellent, good to hear. Follow me on Twitter at @THA Real Thomas. Yo, if you want some beats, you want some mixing and mastering done, head to my website, theyear4000.com. We'll also be posting a podcast there as well. You know, just support us if you can with anything y'all can. Like we, you know, even if it's just views, like just support us, y'all.
On everything. What we doing? Final words?
Yeah,
Sorry,
final words. Go ahead.
Hey, bro. Shout out to you. Thank you.
You're important. You matter.
You said that like you were convincing us, not them.
If anybody tells you don't, you do.
That was creepy. You're
all right, but we're gonna sign out on a good note, a positive note. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hope 2020 gets a little better for everybody. Type shit. If you having a bad 2020, we hoping your 2020 gets a little better. We've had a bad 2020, so we hope our 2020 gets better too. So
now we're gonna play y'all with some smooth jazz.
Nah, we going with the hard shit. Hit it.